Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Motive Racing. We are live here at Oulton Park for the 7th round of the Clio Cup Championship. My name is Dan Davis, and in the commentary box with me tonight is Greenpie's awesome Cillian has joined me tonight to witness some great Clio action. How are you doing tonight, buddy?
I am doing really well. I'm actually quite tired, but I'll save that to talk about it later. Because I feel like we can get a few plugs in there. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this race. It's a wee bit wet, it seems, on the track.
A wee bit wet, mate. I think it's more than a wee bit wet. I think it's we got some thunder and some really horrible weather coming our way this evening. Some really bad weather this evening, and I think it's going to be a tricky one for the guys here tonight. And Oulton Park as well is well known for having some really nasty puddles in some sort of the tracks. But we've got a full grid here this evening. A couple of newbies, a couple of guys will also be promoted up into Tier 1 as the Tier 1 drivers. We've got a couple of drivers missing, so they get a go at having a go at the top of the league. And those guys will be this man we're currently watching at the minute, Cobb. He'll be promoted up into Tier 1 later on this evening. So will also be Kurt V23. He'll be also going into the Tier 1s tonight, and also we have AmazingPieBoy, who's currently in the pits at the minute. So those three will not just be racing in Tier 2, but they will be racing in Tier 1. So Green Pies, what kind of pressure would these three be on after? Well, they'll have a little bit more knowledge than the Tier 1s after they've done a race in this condition, but obviously the Tier 1 guys will be the top Clio drivers to beat. What kind of mindset would these guys be in?
Yeah, well, the difference between the Tier 2s and the Tier 1s is I believe the Tier 1s have got both dry races, haven't they?
I believe the sprint race for Tier 1 is going to be similar conditions to this. So they're going to be a wet race in Tier 1.
Alright, okay, because I was going to say, because if these Tier 1 drivers don't have the knowledge of the Thunder, then they won't be thinking, oh, I've got to brake earlier and stuff like that. Whereas these two Tier 2 drivers, they're driving into the thunderstorm now, and then they'd go to dry race, so they'd be braking earlier because that's the only way that they've been racing on this track.
Yeah, they got that 45 minutes extra time of learning where the puddles are, knowing what the conditions are going to be like before even the Tier 1s hit the track. I know for a fact that most of the Tier 1s are probably in private lobbies right now practicing and testing just before this evening, but we are focusing on
these. They are.
Don't know what we're talking about. I never try hard, but as one of the drivers, I'll be racing in the Tier 1s later this evening, and already I've had a little bit of a taste of the conditions. And I'll tell you what, Green Pies, there are some nasty puddles. If we can, we're going to go on board with your teammate for the F1, Penguin Dude. Let's see if we can get a lap around this Oulton Park circuit and see how bad the conditions are. As we go on board with him, the conditions don't look too bad, to be honest, but as you can see, the puddles are already starting to form. As you see on the right-hand side there's a nasty one there. But when they're on the straights, they're fine. It's when they get caught out in mid-corner.
Yeah, this looks like a typical Irish day. I'm not even going to lie, this looks like a typical Irish day. But as we ride on board with Penguin Dude, he is a penguin. Penguins are meant to be good in water, so I'm hoping that Penguin Dude can have a good race, because he is my teammate. He's a good friend of mine. He's a great man on and off the track, so I'm hoping that he can have a good race here.
Oh, as he just makes a little bit of an error here in the chicane, and already you can see he's just struggling with the rear end. But the problem as well for these touring car guys, touring car, I've got touring car on the brain at the minute. The problem for these Clio guys is the very first few laps they get out is the best laps they're going to get. Otherwise, it's going to get wetter and wetter. The puddles are going to get bigger and bigger, and the conditions are just going to get more difficult. Look at the size of that puddle, Green Pie. That was a massive
a huge
one.
Puddle. That reminds me of the puddle that I once cycled through, and I went flying off my bike.
So hopefully these guys won't go flying off their bikes when they hit puddles like that. But so that's one I was going to mention. That puddle can be quite nasty, and there's a puddle that I found here in this right-hander. Just on the inside, there's a couple there, there's another one there. Those puddles there can easily unsettle the car, and it's right on the apex as well. But the biggest puddle, and when Penguin Dude finally gets there, will be in turn 1. And the turn 1 puddle is what's going to catch people out. This is going to be a horrendous puddle. You see here, down in the dip, there's a puddle there.
That is a huge puddle right there.
These conditions aren't suited. As Penguin Dude does come towards the line, as we did run on board of him, I believe he goes into P9 at the minute, but as we go into turn 1, here's the big puddle on the inside there. It gets bigger and bigger.
Very wide.
And it's caught Penguin Dude out. So that's the lap of Oulton Park. So We got currently 10 people watching the stream. We got Chocolate Man in the comments. Can't make the race today, but good luck to the Tier 2. Sorry we can't have you this evening, mate, and I hope you enjoyed tonight's racing. But Kurt V23, already the fastest man on circuit with a 57.3. And like I said, Green Pies, is probably going to be difficult for them to improve unless some of these guys are so good in the wet they can find more time. But they need to use their time wisely while they can.
Yeah, I don't think that qualifying is going to be the most important part of this race, because this race will be anyone's race. Anyone will be able to hit those puddles and just spin round easily.
Yeah, definitely. As just as we saw Kurt cross the line, Grandadsteed did go faster, but Kurt then went quicker again. So he's getting a little bit of a toe off the back of these two in front of him. I'm not sure who's quite in front of them as well. Might be Aaron.
Grandad goes very wide.
Yeah, Grandon's gone very wide. As I got a sneeze coming, Green Pie, so give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, well, as Dan goes to have his sneeze, we're just riding on board here with Grandad as he's trying to get faster lap time in.
Ow. There we go, I got it out of me. But as we see there, AmazingPieBoy improves his lap time. He now does a 56.8, and we got chaos here in turn 1. We got a couple of cars overshot, including AmazingPieBoy. There goes another one. Oh my god.
I don't know who that is.
That's Aaron.
These cars are all over the place. I believe that might be the turn one puddle that's catching them out there.
Yeah, Leon Fernie was involved in that as well, so already the turn 1 puddles are catching people out, but AmazingPieBoy is the fastest man of the session. So what's going on here? There's a fight going on here between Grandadsteed and who's that in front? I'm not sure who's in front. Zergay we got here tonight, XmecOnline. That's Ludic v Street. He's having a little bit of a tussle with who are you looking at? Grandadsteed. Those guys are having a little bit of a tussle, but we will go through the running order at the minute. AmazingPieBoy is here and he'll be moving into Tier 1 later this evening. Is the fastest man at the minute. Kurt currently in 2nd place in the pits. Grandadsteed in 3rd. N Jones in 4th place. Cobb, another man who'll be racing in the Tier 1s later on this evening, is currently in 5th place. Aaron is 6th. Leon Fernie in 7th. DJ Phil has got a lap time in and then moves himself up into 8th place. As I was just about to say,
great lap time from DJ Phil.
Yeah, definitely. Xmeek has now got a lap time in. He goes up into 6th place, so he drops some of the guys down. Klaus Martini in 10th place, or now 11th. McGlenn in 12th. Valguest in 13th. Penguin Dude, your teammate, currently struggling in 14th place. And 15th is Sergey at the minute, and he's trying to find some time as Aaron Van has gone quicker, I believe he has. So he's moved up a few places, and Ludovic Street have all moved up. So these changeable conditions are really affecting some of the drivers, but others are loving it. And some people are naturally good in the wet, others seem to struggle, but at the minute, these guys are doing very well at the moment.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't really call this just wet, I would call this a downpour. Absolute downpour. The Lord has opened up the heavens himself and said, wet race.
Well, definitely a typical UK weather, isn't it? Just the absolute weather storm has come in and just drowned the circuit here. But at least we don't have the similar conditions that the F1 guys had at Imola, where half the circuit was wet and half of them were dry. At least here at Oulton Park, it's just completely wet.
Yeah, at least it's very consistent. And one thing that might help these drivers to get around this track quicker would be a SilentxEnergy drink.
Yeah, definitely so. And guys, SilentxEnergy is our main sponsor for the Clio Cup and Green Pies. We're paying him really well to keep going on and on and on about SilentxEnergy. But if you guys want to have a taste and try a little bit of SilentxEnergy, then have a look at their website. Get your samples in, get your packs in. I'm going to at some point order some in. But yeah, a reminder as well, there are prizes up for grabs for the top 3 in both tiers. By the end of the season, whoever comes in the top 3, SilentxEnergy is quite happily giving away prizes for the top 3 drivers in both the Tier 1 and the Tier 2. So, Green Pies, it's not all about stakes here. There is a prize at the end of this season, and championships are going to be fought hard just for a bit of energy.
Yeah, I'm praying that maybe at the end they might send like a few packets to us commentators.
I mean, I've still been waiting for mine, and I haven't heard nothing since, but I'm being patient. I'll be patient with SilentX. I mean, if I have to win the championship,
they're busy.
They're busy. They're taking in loads of orders, and obviously being a big major brand like themselves, and obviously making organic, healthy energy drinks is obviously a lot on their plate. And to give us some just a sample, so it's a little bit difficult. But I'll quite happily wait. If not, I'll just win the championship so I can get some. But either way,
yeah, I'll join you. We can win together, tie points.
I mean, mate, I think you're quite off in the championship. I don't think you've even entered the Clios, have you not? So
no, I've never raced the Clios, but you know what? I'll just show up and we can all just end on the same points, and everyone comes first.
Question though, have you actually ever given these Clios a go, Green Pies, or have you just because
I gave them a go by myself, never in like an actual race situation. I was just driving them around just to see what they're like, and they're not the easiest cars to drive. They look easy, but they're not.
No, they're definitely an interesting beast to handle. They're very rear end happy, but they're front wheel drive. But you can slide them into corners. They're good fun, but to drive them fast, there's definitely a knack to it. And you'll see in the tier 1s and in the tier 2s as well, these guys will be pushing their cars to the limit. Cobb currently one of the man up for the championship at the minute. He's currently sat in 5th place and he's not doing too well. AmazingPieBoy is putting that banker of a lap time, only a 10th between him and Kurt. 5 tenths to Grandad Steen, and then 9 tenths to N Jones, and then down into the second bracket. So not quite as close as we thought they were going to be, but we've got a couple of comments coming in. Nikki in the comments saying, oi oi motive crew with the rainbow. So evening Nikki and the Prolapse guys, welcome here this evening. We've also got RaKiMaJe in the comments, evening all. Will it be a mayhem race? Green Pies, do you think it's going to be a mayhem race?
I think it's going to be more than just a mayhem race. I think it's going to be a chaotic race.
It's definitely going to be an interesting one for sure. Master Huck says, go McGlenn, my big bro. So good luck to him. The Wall, good luck to the tier 2s. Go AmazingPieBoys, bring it on. Master Huck, is this a qualifier? Yes, this is just a qualifying session right now. And G puts in the comments, top 3 predictions. Green Pies, who do you think your top 3 is going to be for the race?
Is this who I actually think is going to get top 3 or my dream top 3?
Let's have both if you want.
Right. Oh, as we just watched Kurt and I don't know who that is.
DJ Phil. I think
fighting
that's DJ
each other.
Yeah, that's DJ
This isn't
Phil.
really the time to be fighting. Right. So who do I think is going to get the top 3? Actually, I'm going to have to say N Jones, AmazingPieBoy, and then in first I'm going to have to say Grandad.
Grandad. Okay, fair enough. That's what you think is going to be the outcome. Is that your dream, or just what you think is going to happen?
That's what I think is actually going to happen. My dream.
I know who you want to win for the dream. Is this?
Yeah,
guy,
my dream would have to be probably. Actually, I don't know who I'd want in 3rd place, but in 2nd place I'd want DJ Phil, and in 1st place I'd want Penguin Dude.
Well, Penguin Dude and DJ Phil are close to each other in the standings, in the order right now. DJ Phil just out qualifying Penguin Dude, but anything can happen in the race. But if it's me, I think Kurt's going to take the race win here this evening. I think it might be a little bit more consistent. AmazingPieBoy has got the pace, but he just seems to be a little bit inconsistent sometimes. But I want him to prove me wrong. He'll probably take a 3rd place, and I think Grandad Steen will take that 2nd place. So Kurt, Grandad Steen, and AmazingPieBoy. But guys, let's hear your comments. Let's hear who you think will be taking the top 3. As Team Prolapse send a message saying, Dan, you need to squeeze Green Pie's hand to sign up. So Green Pies, have you considered our Prolapse contract yet, or are you still in discussions with your?
This is news to me. I haven't been sent any contracts.
Oh, I believe that Prolapse wants you as a Team Prolapse driver.
Ooh, I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to talk with my lawyers about this and just get it all settled.
I mean, I think Prolapse are very, very open, and they will quite happily have a discussion with you, and we can offer as many Skittles as you like. So that's kind of the
is that how the payments go? In that case, yes, sign me up.
Well, there you go, Nicky. I've done it for you, mate. We've got Green Pies, but he's got to speak to his lawyers first and get it to pen to paper. But we'll see a little bit later on as we come to the end of the session. AmazingPieBoy still in the pits at the minute. N Jones currently gone a little bit quicker. He's 7,000ths off AmazingPieBoy's time. Such a shame.
That
he
is
quite improved.
That's like paper thin. But also something else that you could fit between those two cars would probably be a satchel of SilentxEnergy.
Yeah, or some Skittles.
Or some Skittles.
But yeah, we think definitely the SilentxEnergy will fit perfectly in there. We're currently watching Kurt coming around the final few corners. Can he improve on his lap time? Chocolate Man says, AmazingPieBoy for the win, then Cobb, and then Kurt. That's an interesting prediction. Master Huck says, I'll be looking forward to McGlenn playing down the quarry later today, hopefully after a win too. Okay, fair enough. And Team Prolapse said, yeah, there you go. How easy was that? Well, it just needed my convincing, didn't it? I
think, no, you see, I'm going to have to talk to my lawyers because I don't really like the green Skittles.
Oh, I'm sure we can take them out for you. I'll eat them for you. So we see Kurt go fastest there. He takes the fastest lap of the session so far, and he goes up ahead of AmazingPieBoy. Is anyone else on a lap time?
Ooh, someone's facing the wrong direction.
Yep. We see their car just dragging itself. Sergey's the only man left on circuit. He's got after chicane there.
Well, so, he's not on the circuit anymore.
He's definitely testing the limits there. And G in the comments says, wow, look at the top three. Kurt, AmazingPieBoy, and N Jones. Very, very close stuff between them. But that is your qualifying session, and Kurt has put it on pole position with AmazingPieBoy in second, N Jones into third place, Grandadstein in fourth, Cobb in fifth, XmecOnline is in sixth, Valguest seventh, DeHuisRocker 8th, ninth will be Klaus Martini, 10th is Aaron Bank. McGlenn will take up 11th place, Leon Fernie in 12th, DJPhil 13th, Penguin Dude 14th, Sergey will bring up 15th, and 16th is Steve the Book, as we are about to get underway for the race. And once again, Green Pies, the rain is still here, it's still coming down, and we just can't escape it at the minute.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to complain. We love wet races, and I believe that turn one is going to be absolute mayhem. Those three drivers were within 1/10 of each other. In fact, I think they were within half a tenth of each other, were they? Yeah,
they were very close to one another. A couple more predictions coming in. Delore says that Kurt and AmazingPieBoy and N Jones will be the guys to beat, as we just lose the share play for a second. So yeah. I will get that sorted. Also, DT says, McGlenn, let's go! So he's obviously backing up the McGlenn for this race. And Delore says he reckons Kurt is going to take the race win. So guys, let's get more predictions in. Let's see who thinks going to take tonight's Tier 2 main event. But either way, whoever wins will definitely earn it in these conditions.
Oh, 100%. If anyone wins this, or, well, I mean, someone's going to win it, but whoever wins it 100% deserves it.
Yeah, definitely. So, and just remember, guys, if you like what you see, then please hit that like button and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified for when we are live. And also head over to our website, www.motiveracing.com. As I say that, G's gone and put the same message in the chat. But we're about to get underway here. Lights are on, engines rev, and we're about to get underway. And away we go here at Oulton Park, as looks like Kurt has got a great start. AmazingPieBoy as well. N Jones seems to have bogged down a little bit and hasn't got the greatest of starts there as the leaders go into turn one. Cobb is a little bit gingerly on the inside as Valguest isn't too far behind, but relatively clean from most of the guys at the front of the pack. The rest of the pack keeping it clean as well. But turn one, they all get through safe and sound as they come down into the dip. And as the wet conditions get a little bit crazy here, Klaus Martini, there's you see a car off.
Oh,
that's
someone's spinning.
Yep, that's XmecOnline off on circuit, and a couple other guys at the front as well, all pushing and shoving each other, but relatively clean all the way round as Kurt leads the way at the minute. Grandadstein down the inside and gets all over the grass. Can he get it together? AmazingPieBoy gets
where
through.
he wants to be.
No, definitely not, and he gets it back together and just slots in front of Valguest as Cobb is on the back of these guys as well. Klaus Martini, Leon Fernie not too far behind, DJPhil, XmecOnline as well, all these guys trying to push their way forward as quickly as they possibly can, but Kurt still leads the way. AmazingPieBoy, N Jones, Grandadstein and Valguest all fighting it out to get into that top five, as Cobb is just outside of that right now and Valguest is looking for a move left, right and centre.
Yeah, this has been a great opening. These guys, these drivers, they've kept it very clean in these conditions.
Yeah, they've done a very good job and they've kept it clean relatively all the way up and down the grid. We're currently watching Valguest trying to make a move on Grandadstein, but at the minute, Kurt is taking advantage of that start and has pulled a second gap to AmazingPieBoy, but N Jones is sticking to the back of AmazingPieBoy and Grandadstein is sticking to him as well. So this is a great fight for the top few places of the grid. What else is going around on circuit? There's a few other battles going on. Penguin Dude trying to fight his way through onto back of DeHuisRocker We've also got
Penguin Dude.
Steve
Penguin Dude's
Cook.
been doing great. He went from
he's
last up to 12th, back down to last, and now he's back up to 12th.
Great stuff. DJ Phil is on the man, another man on the move. He goes a little bit wide.
Very close
He loses
there.
out. He loses out to XmecOnline a little bit, so XmecOnline will move up another place. But what is going on at the front? We've still got a little bit of a train going on behind AmazingPieBoy. AmazingPieBoy seems to gap a little bit of the guys in front, but N Jones seems to be the one struggling as he got Grandad Steen right behind him and Falgues as well. Go into the corner as we see N Jones losing a little bit of control into the left-hander. There's a nasty puddle on the right-hand side, so they'll be making sure they stay away from that. But look at the spray green pies. How these guys are able to see it, I do not know.
This spray is absolutely mental. I think those rear lights should always be on because you can just about see those cars.
Yeah, those brake lights are the only thing that are able to see them, and I'm pretty sure if any of the drivers are in the cockpit view, I bet they'll be struggling because that is what they'll be seeing. Green pies. If anyone's driving in that view, I will be impressed because this is tricky conditions here at Oulton Park.
Yeah, let's just hope if anyone is driving in that view that they have got their windscreen wipers binded.
Yeah, definitely so, and they make sure their windows are nice and clear so they can see exactly what's going on. Right, as you start getting into the swing of things into this race, 30 minutes these guys have to endure these conditions for, and the puddles will just get bigger and bigger. At the minute, we've got just heavy rain at the minute, but I believe we should have some thunder and lightning storms coming on later on this evening as well. So these guys are in for some tricky weathers this evening. But Kurt still leads away with AmazingPieBoy bringing that gap down.
Yeah, he's been doing very well to catch him up. Kurt did have the initial jump where he took advantage of everyone being slow, but I think AmazingPieBoy. Oh, who's this? N Jones going for the overtake on the outside.
I think Grandad Steen's got past him, and now N Jones has lost out and trying to get that place back. Now Falgues is having a look around the outside. He'll then get the inside for turn one, but there's a massive puddle in turn one, so we'll see what happens. And Falgues alongside N Jones trying to squeeze him, but Falgues will hold on to that position as they go through that puddle. Falgues loses the rear. There's that puddle I was on about, and Falgues will drop down a couple of places as we've lost the cams there a little bit. But
Falgues foul of the puddle.
Falgues foul fell of the puddle. Oh, that's a bit of a tongue twister that you just made, mate. Oh, DJ Phil in the background.
DJ Phil going backwards into that corner, not the way that he wants to be going.
Penguin Dude has joined him. Green pies. What have you done to these two? They're getting cursed because of you.
It's because they were my dream team. Come on, guys. As Penguin Dude, I think is going to go on the overtake.
Just as we've just switched to these guys, Penguin Dude has got the job done. He's got past DJ Phil. So Green Pies' dream team right now is having a bit of a ding dong, and they're too busy finding each other. They're trying to catch up to the pack. As I believe.
Yeah, well, I was joking with Penguin Dude before the race about having fun swimming, but I think that these guys, they should sign up for the Olympics because this is some great swimming going on here.
Great swimming, synchronized swimming. They should all enter for that, like do the little dancing and shit like that, and show off their great moves underwater. But Cobb has made a move. He's moved up the pass against Falgues, so that's one more place for Cobb to get himself through. Regard of the championship, his two championship rivals are out at the front at the minute, Kurt and AmazingPieBoy. So Cobb has got it all to do to get through this
someone's
pack.
gone. I think that was Falgues going very wide, drifting through that corner.
Falgues doesn't seem to like he lost much of time there, but at the minute it's just these five at the minute with the closest fight on circuit. But these weather conditions have allowed the pack just to strung out a little bit. But Kurt still leads the way as they go on to lap 4 of the race, and AmazingPieBoy is sticking with him. As you see there, that puddle getting bigger and bigger each lap, and it's going to get much harder as Penguin Dude actually caught onto the back of Ludwig Street now. So Penguin Dude on the move as Falgues also gets a penalty. What's happened to Cobb?
Oh, he's not going to be happy there. I think he fell foul of that puddle.
Yeah, I think he might have, and he might have made contact with something because Falgues has lost out to XmecOnline there. So I think Falgues came around the corner, found a Cobb facing the wrong way, and had to take evasive action. So Cobb.
Yeah, I'd probably be scared if I went around a corner and I saw a Cobb facing the wrong way.
understeering like mad in these conditions, but at least he's got a little bit of knowledge when he goes into the tier 1 race. He's under a lot of pressure by Ludovic V Street, and he just drives straight past him. Great stuff from him, and he now moves up the place, and Cobb loses another place. N Jones sticking to the back of Grandad Steen right now, but he's not able to bring that gap down any more than what it is right now. Valgues still just on the back of XmecOnline. We've got this weird bracket where and we've got a couple of cars that are just like 5 or 7 tenths behind another car, so not much going on.
Penguin Dude seems to have lost the position to DJPhil again.
Your superstars right now are just too busy ding-donging against each other for 11th and 12th place. But come on, DJ,
it's character building. It's character building, that's what it is. It's to get their racecraft better.
Is that what it is it?
That's what I'm saying it is.
That's their excuse. This AmazingPieBoy has taken the race lead. Kurt obviously made a mistake, and Grandad Steen's dropped it!
Come on, Grandad!
Come on, mate, let's get it back on track. Let's get going, get back in the zone. We've only got 22 minutes left of the session, so plenty of time to get back. And Team ProLab says that rain is really wet. Yoni G also saying Cobb needs to follow them through. But sadly, Cobb dropped it off earlier on as he says no to that. But Kurt has now lost the place to AmazingPieBoy. So PieBoy now leads this race, and will he be able to take his first, I believe this will be his first win of the season. I'm going to try and find the standings as quickly as I can, and I'll let you know.
Yeah, Kurt is, I think Kurt keeps hitting some puddles because AmazingPieBoy has just been constantly lapping faster than Kurt.
He's just been keeping it consistent, hasn't he? He's just been there when he needed to be there. Where is AmazingPieBoy? Yeah, AmazingPieBoy this season hasn't taken a race win, so this would be his first race win if he can hang on. But I don't want to curse him, but we'll keep an eye on him. N Jones up into 3rd place at the minute, and at this stage, Kurt leads the championship ahead of AmazingPieBoy by 12 points, and then another 32 points back to Cobb in 3rd between him and Kurt. So Cobb not having the race that he would want. He's already cleared Ludovic V Street, and his next target will be Leon Fernie. But what could have happened, what could have gone wrong for Cobb has gone wrong. So it's a shame as Foul gets on the grass there.
I really feel for Cobb. I'm in his position right now in the F1 where I had such a dominant lead, and then all of a sudden I just really fell off. I just kept having bad races, and now I'm in 2nd place.
Yeah. It happens, mate. 1 minute you're having the best run of the season, the next minute you're in a terrible situation. But Kurt and AmazingPieBoy, the gap's got down to 3 tenths. Kurt has worked his way back onto the back of AmazingPieBoy. The problem is, Green Pies, he's now caught him. A little bit of a switch there. He's now caught him, but where is he going to overtake him? If you go offline, there's going to be massive puddles everywhere. Look, it's just anywhere you look.
You don't even need to go offline. The puddles are on the line.
Yeah, so maybe they'll have to do the cart line. Maybe they have to learn to try and go around the outside and try and use the kind of rubbish that's left on the side of the circuit and use it as grit to get around the outside. But at this minute, there's nowhere that Kurt can really find. Look at the size of that puddle, man.
That puddle is absolutely huge.
We go on XmecOnline here and look at it on the inside. Not the best view either, but
that's like
go on.
Peppa the Pig's like best dream in the world.
Peppa Pig. But look at that puddle. You do not want to be touching the apex there. So guys in the tier 1s, have a look and see what you got to be dealing with, because they'll be having a reverse sprint race, and that is what they got to be dealing with into turn 1. Obviously later on in the race, AmazingPieBoy goes a little bit wide there. That's allowed Kurt just to get onto the back of him a little bit, but obviously AmazingPieBoy with the better line on the exit. As we see here, Cobb is now onto the back of Leon Fernie, who's also on the back of Klaus Martini. There's fights going on up and down the grid here, Green Pies. Awesome stuff from the Clios.
Yeah, well, I've said it before in the Discord, and I'll say it again. I think these tier 2 Clios do battle better than the tier 1s.
Hey, what are you saying? We're just too boisterous in tier 1.
No, you guys are just too spread out. The only G just takes the lead and just drives away out from you all.
Well, yeah, G did pull a bit of a crazy stunt last time out at Laguna Seca, starting on the dries in the wet, and it somehow paid off for him and got him a 2nd place. But my problem is I end up getting really bad mechanics. You can't decide to change tyres from wets to dries, so I just get bad luck with the Clios. But hey, you've got to prove yourself in tier 2. I've been through the tier 2 league, and you really do have to prove yourself. If you can beat these guys, then obviously you do earn your place at Tier 1. It's really a good learning curve here in these Tier 2 guys, and it really helped me as a developer, as a driver as well.
Yeah, well, these Tier 2 drivers, they want to be in Tier 1, so to win in Tier 2 is probably nearly as good as winning in Tier 1. As I think we should go on board with Kurt and AmazingPieBoy, because they seem to be very close. I say that, and Kurt's dropped off by 3/10.
Yeah, it's the way it is. I'm keeping an eye on the time that are going on right now, and Kurt and AmazingPieBoy seems to be in between that 2 and like 4/10 gap. And Jones just in the background there, just in case these two make any slip-ups. But everyone else now into the 2-minute bracket, and only a couple of drivers, Grandadstein and the leaders, are the only ones doing 1:59s. So this is the pace and homework that these guys have done, and that's why they're in this position right now. But they can't afford to make any mistakes, because N Jones, currently in 3rd place on his own at the minute, can capitalise if these two get too close to each other.
Yeah, no pressure to Grandad, but I did say he was going to win, so I'm kind of hoping that he wins this.
Cobb's down the inside of Leon Fernie, and I think he gets the job done. Brilliant stuff there from Cobb. Great move on the inside, and he will gain that position. The Team Prolapse guys saying, loving the commentary, guys, and many thanks to them. Thank you, guys. We always enjoy commentating on these Clios. They bring in some great action here. And SilentxEnergy, if you're listening, we still want those free samples. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but take your time. Don't worry. We understand that you guys are very busy. We understand you guys are very busy. It is a drink made by racers for racers. Completely natural ingredients.
Yeah, natural ingredients, no artificial colours, none of that horrible sugars or rubbish in it. So have a look at their website. Get yourself some great energy drinks and make yourself feel good. I'm going to get some in ready for when I go back to the gym. So I look forward to using some of them as well. But Grandadstein
is that your way of saying that you're never going to buy them?
Should we? No, I'm going to buy them. I'm going to place my order in after my race.
Oh, okay, fair enough. No, I was just making a joke. You go into the gym.
Ah, wow. I kind of
joking right over your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm too busy watching the action that's on track to pay attention to the jokes, to be fair, mate. I see Kurt's really close to AmazingPieBoy.
Yeah, Kurt and AmazingPieBoy. I feel like Kurt is faster, just he can't get past, because any time that he goes to go on the inside of a corner, there's a huge Peppa Pig puddle there ready to catch him out.
Yeah, definitely. As I see a comment from the Prolapse boys, I'm not going to read that out because I know what they're trying to hint at, and I don't want that sample. Oh, AmazingPieBoy locks up the rear, and he goes wide. He locks up the rear of the car. That's put it into a snake, and Kurt is now back in front. Who is that out of the way? I believe that's Steve the Book. Stays out of the way, which he does brilliantly thanks to him. And yeah, Kurt has now got in front of AmazingPieBoy, so it's now PieBoy's turn. And I don't know if you feel like this sometimes, Green Pies, but I feel like sometimes being the attacker is better than the defender, because now you can watch the car in front and what lines they're taking. Kurt, the last few laps, has been quicker than AmazingPieBoy, so now AmazingPieBoy can watch and see what lines he's taking.
Nah, I very much would rather be the defender, because that means that you're ahead of the person behind you.
Yeah, I guess, but I feel like being the attacker is also very good because you can kind of learn the driver's lines, learn their weak spots, and then eventually go for it. Either way, one of the two is better. Being on your own is pretty rubbish, but Grandadstein all over the back of N Jones. In a minute, he's going to be inside that Clio as they got traffic, and Steve once again staying out the way and does a brilliant job of that. So thank you to Steve the Book for being so respectful for the other drivers. And the Wall in the comments says, indeed, great commentary, and thank you, the Wall, as he says no to AmazingPieBoy as well. But for a second there, Green Pies, I thought we had a little bit of sunshine there, but it was just the camera. Is that a little bit of sunshine?
I think that is some sunshine. I thought it was going to get heavier.
I thought it was as well, but that looks like we look like we got to remember, scouts in.
Yeah, you need to remember, we are racing in the UK. 1 minute it can be sunny. Oh, that's Grandad. That's not where you want to be, mate. Yeah, like in the UK, 1 minute it could be raining. The next minute it could be dry, and then 5 minutes later it'll be snowing.
I've just noticed as well, AmazingPieBoy has lost a massive amount of time. He is 3.5 seconds off of Kurt now. He's had a horrid show down the first few sections of the circuit. So AmazingPieBoy losing time to Kurt, and if Kurt doesn't mess up, then that looks like he's going to be in a strong position to take this race win. I've just noticed as well, it's now left 13 minutes after the session. Where has that time gone? 10 minutes. It's just disappeared. And we're watching some great action. This is what we love about Clio. This is Grandad Steen back onto N Jones. N Jones looks like he's made a mistake because at one point N Jones was out on his own.
Yeah, these Clios, you can never have a time to take a break because there's always action. As we're watching Grandad, he's trying to get his position back on third place as he's pushing N Jones. Whoa, that is a lovely camera angle to just show how close these guys are. As I actually think he's side by side now.
Yeah, XmecOnline here, just watching this fight go on. Can he look to make a move? Grandad Steen trying to get the switch. There's a puddle there, so these guys will get. Oh, you see N Jones get a twitch there. And Grandad Steen will try and capitalise on that. But yeah, that's an example of how close these guys are. As Grandad Steen once again, look how close he is to the back of N Jones. Brilliant stuff from these guys. And keeping it clean as well. N Jones defending for his life to hang on to that third place position. He hasn't got left of the session, 12 minutes left of this session, so anything can happen. But we'll do a quick running of the grid. So Kurt, as he crosses over the line to start lap 10, is leading away here at Oulton Park with AmazingPieBoy in second place at this precise moment. N Jones still defending heavily from the back of Grandad Steen with XmecOnline not too far behind. Klaus Martini currently in 6th place, but being hunted down by Cobb at this precise moment. Ludic V Street on 8th place, another quiet race with Leon Fernie in 9th. DJ Phil has moved up into 10th place, and Falguest has lost more places as he loses the rear there, and he is currently
That was a lovely save.
It was a lovely save. It's the DJ Phil flashing the lights to try and get past. I think DJ Phil will be enjoying lapping the car for once, so DJ Phil move up in 10th place, Falguest in 11th. Penguin Dude Green Pie's his teammate for F1, and his best mate at the minute is in 12th place and being cursed by his mate. Glenn at the minute struggling in 13th place, so such a shame for him. But Sergey as well, currently going around doing some laps in 14th place. He's keeping it going, which is nice to see. Aaron in 15th place, and Steve the Book rounds off our 16 drivers, and it's nice to see the guys carrying on. But Grandad Steen has now overtaken N Jones as I was reading the order out, and N Jones is now under pressure from XmecOnline.
Yeah, as we established last week, I think N Jones is going to want SilentxEnergy drink because we figured out that that gives a 5 horsepower boost.
Does it really? Why didn't I order mine in sooner? As we
I can't 100% confirm that, but it's just rumours.
Just rumours. I'm going to have to buy as many packs as I possibly can then for these clears. It's going to be like a rocket ship after I've had so many. Team Pro Labs in the comments saying great racing is still a full grid, and it's nice to see that we do have a full grid and the guys are sticking it out. So keep pushing it, guys. Anything can happen. And also, Bill was in the comments, late to the party, but I'm here for Cobb. Mate, you're going to have to be here for a while because Cobb is going to be racing not just in the Tier 2s, but in the Tier 1s. And so will Kurt and AmazingPieBoy. These two will be racing in the Tier 1s as well. And already, they're making me a little bit
Cobb's
worried
just
about
been
their
overtaken.
pace.
I think Cobb's had a mistake. He just got overtaken there.
He's very slow out that corner there. So Cobb, once again, making a few errors here. He does not seem to be enjoying these wet conditions at the minute. A guy who's normally quite quick in the dry and in his Porsche Line 11 in the GT3 seem to be struggling here this evening.
Yeah, I think that Cobb in this in the Tier 1 races, he's going to be wanting a much better end to his races. That's Falguest in the wall. That is a big crash into the barriers.
Yeah, that's going to allow Leon Fernie just get onto the back of him. That was almost as big as the F1 crash at Imola between Bottas and Russell. The difference was we didn't have a massive amount of debris flying across the circuit. But guys,
that was a huge amount.
Yeah, massive amount of debris. But guys, we've got 15. I've got 24 people watching the stream. Oh, Leon Fernie catch the puddle, and now he's dropped off the back of Falguest. Now that gives Falguest a little bit of breathing space.
I think Falguest got caught as well.
Yeah, a little bit. 24 people watching the stream right now and only 15 likes. Come on, guys, hit that like button. And Joe's really struggling in the chicane there. Just I want to try and get more likes on the stream. Everyone's starting to get a little bit squirrely. But XmecOnline in 5th and trying to find a way back. And Jones, tyre wear will now be strong at the minute. So the guys will be struggling with grit at the minute. So Grandad Steen up into 3rd. And we've only got less than 9 minutes of the session. And there's still fights going on. Penguin Dude is now trying to defend from McGlenn, who's trying to get past him.
Yeah, well, I did warn Penguin Dude at the start of the race that I would be rooting him on as usual. So he's had the curse warning in advance, at least.
Yeah, he's already had the Curtis. N Jones has tried to lap a car. He's lapped Aaron there, and XmecOnline has a better job of lapping that car. But I've got to give it to the lap drivers right now. They're doing a fantastic job of just staying out the way and allowing the guys to race. As Aaron gets onto the puddles, and he just goes a little bit deep, but he collects it and keeps it on track, so fair play to him.
Yeah, these guys have had some amazing saves after hitting those puddles.
The thing about these Clios is obviously a front-wheel drive car, very low in power. If they do twitch, they are savable. They can be caught. But once they do go, it's very tricky to get them going again, especially if you're off circuit. They're very slow. As you see, Falguest is putting DJ Phil under massive pressure right now. As I think GreenPie's headset's just dropped off.
Yeah, I had to fix my headset there. Something was going on. I'm not sure if you could hear that, but Falguest has just made the move on DJ Phil, I believe.
Yeah, right round the outside. No, that is DJ Phil, but Falguest is on the grass, and he's off into the wall. Oh, Falguest, hold it. No, still on the grass.
He's doing some rallycross. Oh, that is very close to the barrier, Falguest.
That was impressive stuff there to not hit it the wall, and Leon Fernie saw that as well, and he thought, I want to have a go at that. That looks like fun as well. So
I feel like Falguest was just like, I want to do some off-roading, so gave it a shot.
Yeah, why not? Bit of rallycross practice for whenever we do a rallycross league, which would be very unlikely, but would be hilarious to see these guys doing a bit of rallycross. But maybe it might happen in the future. We don't know. But
maybe a one-off event.
Maybe a one-off event. Maybe a champion of champions for a one-off event where all the champions have to race rallycross cars. Who knows?
Or race Clios around a rallycross track.
That would just be disaster, wouldn't it? That would just be.
It would be hilarious.
As we got Penguin Dude and McGlenn battling. McGlenn's just put it on the grass. Can he get it back on circuit? He does. Can he get it stopped? And he does. So Penguin Dude holds on to that place. He's been having McGlenn chase him down for a while now. But Penguin Dude, one of our new stewards here, he's getting involved in helping out, and he gives the place back.
Yeah, I think he might have squeezed him a bit. And I mean, he is a steward. He does know the rules. It would be quite embarrassing if a steward got in trouble for breaking the rules. So
trust me, I'm under scrutiny all the time. I see XmecOnline is currently looking to try and make a move on Enjos. They're squeezing each other, make contact as they go into turn one. Boys,
as they go through that big puddle.
Oh my god, that was heart in mouth moment. How those? They're still banging doors. Boys, keep it together.
I think that's the first ever time I've seen someone drive through the puddle and not lose the rear end.
I think basically what XmecOnline has just done there is there was loads of understeer from the rear of that car, and he just used N Jones to stop him from spinning off. So yeah, that's one way of using your opponent, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I used to do in like racing games, where I'd go into turn one and I just like, hey guys, I'm going to use you to brake. Thank you very much.
Here's something as well, GreenPie's. DJ Phil and Falguest have caught Cobb. Cobb had a horrendous lap, a 206, while the guys behind him 202s and 203s. DJ Phil is having a stounder of a race this evening. Look at DJ Phil go, he's doing brilliantly, and he's trying to catch Cobb. As I say that, he goes wide.
I was going to say, please do not curse him, because I'm very proud of DJ Phil. He has made some great improvements over these past two races, as Falguest is he's pushing him. That was a wee bump there.
That was a NASCAR bump there, and they say in NASCAR, what's the whole point in having bumpers if you can't bump each other? It goes down the inside and gets past DJ Phil. But DJ Phil's going for the cutback.
Rubbing is racing, but will DJ Phil make it? They're going side by side.
They're going to the chicane. DJ Phil thought better of that and held on, so he'll come back and try later on. That's given Cobb a little bit of a breathing space, as these two are too busy fighting one another. NJ's and XmecOnline as well, still going at it at the minute. Kelly Davis in the comments saying evening all, as he'll be your tier 1 commentator later on this evening with XMart and I believe GreenPie's as well. So those guys will be commentating for the tier 1s. I will be jumping into the driver's seat and getting involved. DJ Phil and Falguest. Oh, there is Kelly now, but just in the background. Evening.
That frightened me a wee bit.
That frightened me a little bit as well.
Sorry about that, guys. Didn't mean to frighten you. Let me not jump in on your box. I'll leave you to it. You're doing a fantastic job as usual, guys.
Thank you very much, mate, and we'll look forward to hearing you for a little bit later on. As G in the comments says, DJ Phil, the legend. Yeah, DJ Phil, what a legend he is. He's very considerate, very fair to the rest of the drivers, and I think he's everyone's favourite. I don't hear anyone saying one bad word about DJ Phil. He always turns up to every single league, no matter what it is, and give it his absolute all, and it's great to see.
Yeah, no, DJ Phil is like, whilst he's not the fastest driver, it's where his heart is at, as I believe he's just gone a wee bit wide there.
I think he was just doing a bit of showboating there. He just went a bit sideways as we lose.
I've lost
green pies
connection
again for the share play. Hang on, G. I'm sorry, but we're gonna get the share play. Alright, Cobb. What's going on with Cobb at the minute? As I get that sorted, Cobb, where is he? Where is he? He is under pressure from Ludic. Oh, he's chasing Ludic B Street. Oh, he's got overtaken. Well, actually, to that point, Cobb was actually, he was in 8th place already, so I think Ludic B Street has actually made a mistake, and that's allowed Cobb to get closer to him, so this should be a good fight towards the end. Valguest has lapped another car there. DJ Phil has just lost time to Valguest. Leon Fernie and Penguin Dude all battling out for 11th and 12th place. Penguin Dude's gone wide. It looked like he's under pressure there a little bit, but not quite close enough. And I believe Green Pies is now back into the share play.
I am, yeah. I just wanted to quickly finish off what I was saying about DJ Phil. Whilst he's not the fastest driver on track, it's where his heart is at. He always finishes the races. Even if he's in last place and lapped, he will always finish the races.
Yep, as I just see Cobb overtakes Ludic B Street. Ludic B Street made a little bit of an error there, and that's allowed Cobb back through in that Hamilton S Monster Energy Clio. But why would he run that horrible livery with the horrible energy drink on the front? He needs to be changing that logo for a SilentxEnergy logo. That's what needs to be on that car, not that horrible Monster Energy rubbish. Guys, if you want to try the great organic and good for you energy drink of SilentxEnergy, then have a look at their website and get hold of some of their great flavours as well. So have a look at their stuff. But
as we're coming into the final minute now.
Yeah, last few moments of this session. Where is Kurt? He's at the bottom end of the circuit, and he's just pulled away from AmazingPieBoy. AmazingPieBoy not being able to stick to his pace at the minute. Maybe a little.
You say that, and then AmazingPieBoy has made like 5/10 in like a few corners.
Yeah, it's kind of like that domino. It's like that yo-yo effect. Green Pies is here. Kirk went into a slow section while AmazingPieBoy is up to speed. You can see there he's pretty much gained a second or so.
2 seconds now.
So yeah, that's the kind of the yo-yo effect. As Kurt is going into the final few corners, we're going to stay on board of him just in case this is the last lap. I don't think it is. I think we'll get another lap.
No, I think we'll get at least one more lap in.
Yeah, one more lap of this complete and utter torture of a race in these wet conditions. I'm not looking forward to this in the tier 1s for sure. But Kurt,
it would be really embarrassing. It would be really embarrassing if Kurt now bins it on the very last lap with this amazing race. With this amazing race he's done. He really has had an amazing race.
Yeah, he's definitely done his homework. He's learnt the conditions, and he is out in front leading this race in first place and doing a fantastic job. Look at this fight, Green Pies, Cobb, Ludic B Street and Valguest all battling out for 7th, 8th place. So these guys fighting out. Valguest ready to pick up the pieces just in case anything happens. He's got a penalty though, so he really needs these two to really cause some issues between each other to get that 7th place.
He's probably hoping that these two can maybe take each other out, and then he can just drive off into the sunset and get that 7th place.
Valguest just touching that curb there, and it just sent him a little bit sideways. But Valguest looking to try and find make a way through these two at this minute. Cobb goes a little bit deep into the final few corners here, but he just hangs on at the minute. Ludic B Street flashing the lights. He wants to get past him. He wants to find a way past, but he's look at the flash of the lights. He is desperate to get past him as they go into turn 1.
He's probably begging him to move. I wonder where Kurt is on the track.
Valguest has gone wide.
Valguest has once again fallen foul at that corner.
Yeah, Kurt is only at the halfway point of the circuit, so we'll go back to this fight for the meantime. But we want to get your driver of the session, of the tier 2s. We'll come back to you in a minute, Green Pies, who you think the driver of the day is. But Cobb's still saving it at the minute and trying to hold on to those final few places. But Kurt is coming through the final few corners now and towards the line. As my prediction is near enough right, just in the wrong order. But Kurt looks strong to take a race win here at Oulton Park and extend his championship lead.
I said AmazingPieBoy and Grandad, and I can't remember who the third person I said was.
I believe it was
Could have been Cobb, I think.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
there you
so I
go.
cursed him.
Kurt crosses the line and takes the race win here at Oulton Park in these horrible conditions. AmazingPieBoy would take a solid second place in the points as well. So he keeps that championship alive against Kurt. Grandadstein brought that gap down to AmazingPieBoy to finish in third place. N Jones will finish in fourth. XmecOnline will finish in fifth place. Klaus Martini will finish in sixth all on his lonesome self. But Cobb has lost out. Cobb is in the grass. No, and that was a lovely pirouette. I've got to give him that. But Falguest has now got in front of Ludovic Street. So Falguest has now got past Ludovic Street. This is for the 7th place.
I wonder, will DJ Phil get past Cobb? Will DJ Phil get past Cobb?
He has!
DJ Phil's gone past Cobb!
Yes, he has. But Falguest is hanging in for that 7th place. But it's not a knife at the minute. What is Falguest doing? Oh, he gets out of the way of Ludovic Street. I'm not sure why, but he gets out of the way. Has he run out of fuel? He hasn't got any fuel.
What?
He hasn't got any fuel.
Oh no!
Falguest has run out of fuel.
DJ Phil's gonna get another place!
DJ
Come on,
Phil
DJ Phil!
is about to get 8th place from Falguest. Falguest is out of the race. DJ Phil is going to come home for a superb 8th place. Brilliant stuff from him.
Come on, DJ!
Cobb will take 9th. Leon Fernie will take 10th. Falguest is still in 11th and he's stuck there. He will not improve. Penguin Dude will come alone in 11th. McGlenn will take 13th, and I think he'll take 12th, so Falguest will take the 13th place, but such a shame for him, he ran out of fuel. Oh my god. But your man of the night is Kurt V23, Green Pies. Oh my god, excitement towards the end, or what?
That was Matt. Well, I'm going to have to ask you first, who was your driver of the day?
I think we're going to say the same thing. I'm going to DJ Phil.
Yeah, I gave it to him last week, and I'm going to have to give it to him again. He has made such great improvements.
Great stuff, Kurt. He's definitely deserved the race win. AmazingPieBoy is definitely up there with that as well. But for me, DJ Phil, brilliant drive, great racecraft as well. Awesome stuff. But guys, that is your tier 2s over and done with. And Kurt takes the race win from AmazingPieBoy. Grandadstein in 3rd, N Jones in 4th, 5th is XmecOnline, 6th will be Klaus Martini, 7th Ludovic Street, 8th is DJ Phil, 9th is Cobb, 10th is Leon Fernie, 11th is Penguin Dude, 12th is McGlenn, 13th is Falguest, 14th it will be Sergey, 15th is Aaron V. Bank, and then finally Steve the Book rounds off the grid. But awesome stuff nonetheless. And Kelly in the comments saying, go DJ Phil, and well done Kurt. Green Pies, I don't know what else to say, but tier 2 was that exciting. What is the tier 1s are going to be like?
That was some great racing, and I think that SilentxEnergy should just send DJ Phil something just for that great race.
Definitely so. DJ Phil, our man of the night. The fastest lap, I believe, actually went to Grandadstein. So Grandadstein taking the fastest lap of the night. Guys, stick around. We're just going to have a short break while we get the tier 1s underway. I believe Green Pies is hanging around. There's 26 people currently watching. Guys, hit that like button while we're on a little bit of a break. But at least for me, good night. But we'll have the other commentators join in a second. But that was the tier 2s. We are now heading to tier 1s. So we'll see you in a minute.
See you in a minute, guys.
So we'll see where he comes out ahead of Luty or MeltedDazzer. Andy's not going this one up, but G's going to do him like he did Motrin Morgan, and Andy was all...
The separation of talent and skill is one of the greatest misunderstood concepts for people who are trying to excel, who have dreams, that want to do things. Talent you have naturally. Skill is only developed by hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft. There's no easy way around it. No matter how talented you are, your talent is going to fail you if you're not skilled. You know, if you don't study, if you don't work really hard and dedicate yourself to being better every single day. Make a choice. Like, you just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. Just decide. I'm motivated by fear.
Has managed to keep it just ahead of Dwayne Buff at the moment as we're side by side here coming down the pit straight. Is Camber going to make this 3 wide coming towards turn 1? You can see there Dwayne Buff just trying to squeeze Emo Guy towards the right, giving him the middle of that space with 3 wide coming into turn 1. Camber very sensibly backs out of that one as Emo Guy manages to hold his position on the inside line and just about squeeze his way into the position there and maintains 8th place ahead of 20boy. Here we go, and it looks like we're lights out here at Brands Hatch, and it's a good start there from pole from DeedeeTKU. And it looks like we've already got Fury coming down the middle here, going towards Paddock Hill. DeedeeTKU trying to fend off Sebastopano as he comes onto the brakes. It looks like he has held onto the lead just about, but Serts is hassling him as he comes through Druids. And we see there Fury's managed to get that position on Oak Bar into Druids. Sebastopano very late on the brakes there. It looks like DeedeeTKU's been pushed out a little bit, so Sebastopano's up into the lead. It looks like Fury having a look on DeedeeTKU, but DeedeeTKU managed to hold on to that P2 just appears. When DeedeeTKU emerges from the pit lane, we know that a pit stop is around 25 seconds, and he's going to be very close with Rompu as he comes to the end of the pit lane now. Rompu drives around the outside of Paddock Hill and up into 3rd place, so that would have not been what DeedeeTKU wanted at all. Second separating these boys, Boostyn did have a lead of about 3 or 4 seconds. He was pulling away to Ziegler for a few laps, and now he pulls out to the left-hand side. Ziegler has to leave the door open. We're going to go side by side here down the pit straight. Is Thorsten going to go for the move into the first corner? It looks like he does. He's up the inside, so Thorsten Borchardt getting that position. Side by side here down the pit straight. Austin Style now has an opportunity to take this P2 position. We're side by side coming out towards turn 1. Austin Style goes later on the brakes, up the inside. Elliott tries to undercut him on the exit. Still side by side, incredible stuff. Can Elliott hold it around the outside here, or is Austin Style going to complete the move? It looks like Elliott somehow managing to hold on to that position.
To go for the move. Both of these guys within about 2/10 of the car in front, as we see DeHuisRocker closing speed coming onto the brakes. So he looks like he's making the move on the inside here of Bunny Prevention, but he can't quite get it done at the moment. DeHuis goes a little bit wide there on the exit, and it looks like he almost spins it. Very close there to losing the car. HRT Zeus is up into 2nd place, but DeHuisRocker was pushing a little bit too hard there in his quest to try and get ahead of Bunny Prevention. Bunny Prevention's holding on to the lead. DJPhilgreen lining Ratchet ass up here, but he can't quite make it stick at the moment by the looks of it. And Unorthodox has got a fantastic run on both of these guys, but Unorthodox, you just saw, had to get out of it a little bit there because he had a great run. It was going to most likely end up in him driving himself into trouble, and we can see Ratchet going straight on there over the chicane. Unorthodox driving around the outside there of DJPhilgreen and up into 5th place, and Unorthodox looks like he's going to try and get Ratchet as well. He has indeed. That is brilliant stuff from Unorthodox in every way that he can. John Boy very much on the back of these guys now as they come down the pit straight. Oh, we can see there, it looks like DeedeeTKU getting a little bit loose there onto the grass, and now Little Lee's just going to fancy his charges around the outside, and with 3 wide here coming out of the pit straight. John Boy trying to get involved in this action as well. In the end, I think surely Nickthevilla's going to back out. Yes, he does, but John Boy making a double overtake there coming into turn 1, and he's up into 6th place. What a move there from
pushing. You can tell he's pushing. Look at the way he's driving the car. He's making sure it's got nothing left to give. He's absolutely ragging it round Oulton Pog. He's got alongside Exmar as they're heading towards the island bend. Gary will have the inside line, and Exmar's wide, and he's off. Can he keep it out the tyre wall? Indeed he does. Done. In fact, he's through, coming through the little chicane section there, and already going down the back straight. He's going to try and gain on the leaders as he's back up into P3. What can DeHuisRocker do? Well, that's RoadRacing Racing comes back at Zeus, and they've made contact, and somehow Zeus and RWI have stopped it from going fully round. But DeHuisRocker and Klaus Martini had to take avoiding action there, and that's DeHuisRocker just leading on RWI Racing, which will allow Klaus Martini up the inside. In fact, Klaus Martini's kind of forced RWI Racing wide there as well. In the background of this, Bod's looking for a bit of piece of the action, but can't find a way through past WI Racing then. G right on the back of John Boy. John Boy defending really well at the moment. This for the lead here. Can G take back-to-back wins on this Tuesday night? He's got the cut back on John Boy. That is textbook. Shoulders had a bit of a slide there, and that's allowed Motoring Morgan through. Maybe he will allow Little Leach in the background, but G textbook there. He's reached in the glove compartment. He's pulled out the textbook. I'm going for this move, he says, and he's done it well. He's had an absolute peaceful explosion down there as well. Richie's managed to get back up into P14, but G not having the greatest of starts here. Big Boy Brazier in a world of his own, and we've seen this so many times on a Wednesday night. Gary, I think, got forced wide by Sutsu, who tried to lunge on Fury, and it didn't come off. Is this Emo guy trying to go around the outside of Sutsu Apex, and Gary's going to look to sneak one up the inside, and Emo guy just comes back across. Gary gives him the room, and Gary's sliding up the inside and gets that job done, but now he's got orthodubs all over the back of him, and for Motive Racing, they're teaming up on Gary here, and Gary needs to get in front of these guys and get away and get closer to Sutsu, and you see him breaking late, very wide from Gary. Oh, is that Little Leach? Oh, it is Little Leach. Morgan now having a look up the inside of Gary. Little Leach is there. Morgan and Gary side by side down the start straight. Little Leach is going to make this 3 wide as they come down the start straight. And he's on the outside of Gary and motoring Morgan. And this could be disaster going into turn 1. 3 to 1 does not work. But Little Leach around the outside of Gary. Gary sticks it there on the undercut and has got it done. And Little Leach around the outside has done both of them. Cracking driving from Little Leach. Gary's keeping it pinned in.
But he's now got Oakbar in front of him. Is he going to try and make a move on the exit of Curva Grande coming up towards second chicane? Oakbar tries to go defensive, but Civic's got the inside. It looks like Oakbar breaks a little bit later. Has he overshot the corner though? He almost did. It's a compromise for the second part of the corner, but Oakbar just about keeps onto the position by the skin of his teeth. Civic there in the end, not getting the run out of the corner. He would have been contact. Arnold Thubso has got a good run there coming up into Lesmo 1. He's got the inside and he's got the move done there on RaKiMaJe. Dan up a position. Brilliant driving there from him. Looks like he's got Shrimper and Ads right behind him here. Shrimper and Ads going side by side here, coming through the parabola. You can see these guys on the exit of the corner. Ads is going to have to slipstream with Mr. O a little bit, but Shrimper looks like he's got the superior straight line speed. Although maybe Ads now just picking up that toe from the car in front. Mr. O giving the toe to Shrimper also. Side by side still coming up towards the first chicane. Is Ads going to have that move around the outside? It looks like Shrimper in the end concedes that position. Ads is up into 11th place there. Good move there. Oh, Ads goes a bit deep into the first chicane though. He goes wide and that's giving the place back to Shrimper. So Shrimper there maintaining P10 in that little exchange there. Come down the pit straight here to complete lap 6 of the race. Maz making a look move to the inside, coming towards the first chicane. Shrimper leaves him in the space on the inside, and it looks like Maz is going to have the move done there on the brakes. He is indeed. He's up into 8th place, sorry 7th. Trying to defend. It looks like he's actually been passed by Cinderella Tour. And is he going to find himself open to an attack here from Flaky? Flaky around the outside of Fury. It looks like Flaky's made it stick and he's up the inside for turn 2. Great stuff there from Flaky.
If I was Flaky, I'd be thinking about my championship. I wouldn't be fighting with Zande.
Oh, it looks like Flaky's got all that sorts out of shape now, and G looking to the outside, coming up towards the chicane. He's going to have to get it round the long way though. Flaky's giving him the space on the inside. Flaky late on the brakes, and he's looks like he's back up the inside, and Flaky somehow just clinging onto that second place by the skin of his teeth. But Zande now has crucially got a 1.3 second gap. Zande with a penalty from the race director, but if it's only 1 second, he might be alright. Oh, we see G running off the back of Zande, Flaky a little bit, and Flaky's still managing to hold G off. Oh no, just going Gracie Stew and DeHuisRocker up into first and second, but DeHuisRocker has gained so much time on these guys. He was a couple of seconds back off of the 2 leaders about a lap ago, so I don't know.
Disco Stew's wide.
Oh, he's there. That was nipping tight there. I think that in the end DeHuisRocker had to slam the brakes on to avoid totally taking Biscuit Racing Stew out there, but now Unorthodox is right on the back of them once again.
This pressure, you want to get through as quick as possible to maybe get away here, and it looks like he's got a good run out the final corner, but so is DeedeeTKU here, who's P3 and sat on the back. Little Leach is trying to defend in the background, you saw there, but Fury's going to try the longer way around and isn't going to make that one work. Charlie Goff manages to hold on at the moment. Fury though having to defend and attack at the same time. MeltedDazzer having a look up the inside of DeedeeTKU, and Fury's got the move done on Charlie Goff, and Traga round the outside of Charlie Goff. He's made that work, an absolute cracking move from them. MeltedDazzer also passed Charlie Goff. Then Morgan up into second place. Yeah, great move from him. Andy was all out of shape coming on the exit to turn 1, but Andy's fighting back here. Look at him go. He's going to try and go around the outside of motoring Morgan. Come up to the dreaded turn 4. Is he going to brave it out around the outside? Indeed he does. He's going to line himself up beautifully for the inside line. Good move from Andy to get the position back. So it's G from
for the cut back here.
He has. He's gone for it and it's worked. It's pulled off an absolute treat, and G leads this race once more here from Andy. Motoring Morgan's gained on him. In fact, Andy has not backed out of this. Little Leach has just come into the pits, so we'll see where he comes out ahead of Luke.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome along to the SilentxEnergy Clio Cup here on Motive Racing. Welcome along, hope you're in good spirits this evening. My name's Kelly Davis, I'm one of your commentators this evening. The other one that's joined me in the commentary box is my ProLaps teammate, current touring car, Motive touring car champion, all-round nice guy, Martyn Storey, aka XMart. Good evening.
Oh, that was a lovely intro.
Wasn't
good
that
evening,
good,
Kelly.
Eh? Wasn't that nice
lovely.
of me?
It's So nice. We've got to look after each other in our old age now, haven't we?
We have, mate. Yeah. Now that we're both in the twilight years, you know. Well, no,
Exactly.
not quite twilight years, but you know, certainly more behind than there is in front, and all that. But how are you keeping? How are you keeping, Mark? You all right?
Yeah, I'm well, mate. I'm just so the viewers know. I know you're aware of this. I'll just be with you for the sprint. I've got to unfortunately go and do some work. Late night, burning the midnight oil tonight, but I'm all good, mate. I'm all good. The sun's shining, the weather's getting better, the pubs are open, and we're getting towards the end of season 7. So exciting, you know, in many championships, not just Clio's but all the others. So
absolutely,
penultimate round. This is, isn't it? Before we head over to the brands next week.
To Silverstone next week.
Silverstone, sorry.
You're thinking about touring car. That's at Brands for the last one. And you mentioned the sun is shining. It certainly isn't at Oulton Park. It is tipping down with rain. Absolutely persistent down, as we saw someone in the background go off. They've just had it just the same for the tier 2s. You had Green Pies and Unorthodox doing a great job of commentary there, but now the little boys have gone and the grown-ups are here. We're going to have a much more sensible commentary for this one. So he says, Mark. Probably less grown up than they are.
We'll show. There goes someone's there. Laney's gone off for a bit of practice. Yeah, we show these young ones out to party, mate. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, so, it's very wet, as you say.
Yeah, it's very wet. It's going to be very tricky for these drivers this evening. That's for certain sure. The Clio's not the greatest thing handling to start with. So in the wet, it's going to be an absolute handful this evening. As we see Nickthevilla there going very nice, sideways.
Control there, wasn't it? Nice control around there, bless him.
Absolutely. We've got a couple of guests in this evening. A couple of guys who couldn't make it, so we've taken a couple of guests in the shape of Cobb, AmazingPieBoy, and Kurt V. Kurt V, just off the back of the win, I believe he won the tier 2 race just a few moments ago, so he knows the conditions and he knows what he's up against. So those three guys are guest appearances coming up from tier 2 to get a feel of what it's like in tier 1 as we go on to the next season. So and we're missing a couple as well. So we're missing Andy this evening, WRCJ, and we are missing DeHuisRocker as well this evening. For whatever reasons, they can't make it tonight. So I feel like I've called the register. And of course, the format for this evening, normal motive format. This is a practice session at the moment. This has no bearing on the racing whatsoever. This is purely a practice session for the guys to get their eye in and feel what the conditions are like. We will be having a sprint race, 25-minute sprint race, which will work in reverse grid order of the championship. Our guests, in the shape of Kurt, Cobb, and Amazing, will all start at the back, so they will not get involved in the initial championship battle, because we do have a championship battle, although the only G is well out in front in that battle. After that, we will have a 15-minute qualifying and the feature race with a pit stop. So that's your evening this evening. Lots of great races to look forward to. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, absolutely, mate. Yeah, I mean, this is chucking it down here. So it's not on light rain, it's on heavy rain. So there'll be some collection of puddles you can just see there on the inside of that corner, which sometimes you do need to come in tight, but they're going to have to adjust their driving positions so that they don't get themselves stuck in that puddle, because it does unseat you as you go into those tight corners. But it's really interesting to see how people will take the lines on this, which will be slightly different to the dry racing. There's another puddle there. On this corner is a bit tricky. I always find it a bit challenging when you're coming into it flat out and maybe coming down to typically down to 4th in the dry. I would suggest they're probably going down to 3rd in the wet. So yeah, we were talking earlier, weren't we? I love this track. I know you're not a massive fan, as you said, but I love it.
Yeah, I say I'm not a massive fan. I'm not to drive. Again, this is one of the ones that the British track, obviously, and this is one of the tracks that the British touring cars go to, and always thoroughly enjoy watching the meetings here. I'm just not a fan of driving it. I find it a little bit too narrow for my driving style. I need a bit more road than that.
Yeah, a bit more runoff, mate, just in case you. Typical English track day type car. Track day type track. Interestingly, actually, Ben Parkey has raced on this track in real life. Ben Parkey, for the viewers out there, who's our current Formula Renault champion. He races supercars, and he was on this track. I think it was June last year, in the pouring rain in June, apparently. Yeah, we've got some onboard footage. It does, yeah. We've got some onboard footage of him driving it on YouTube. It's. My God, he was shifting. Probably going as quick as his Clios, I would say, being in a supercar. It's going to be interesting. So, do you want me to? We've got 3 minutes left. Do you want me to talk about the reverse grid? I'll talk about the reverse grid when they're doing the formation.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll do it in the formation. Yeah,
absolutely. Okay, shall we just have we'll have a quick chat about the track. A couple of track. Facts. It's owned by the Jonathan Palmer's Motorsport Vision, who own a lot of the tracks here in Great Britain. It's a FIA Grade 3 track, and we are on the island circuit, aren't we? I believe.
Yes.
No, sorry.
No, it's the full. It's the full circuit, the international.
Full circuit. Is it?
Yeah. Yes, I believe so. It is. Yes,
okay,
I believe
right.
so.
Well, if we're on the full international, I obviously haven't been paying attention, have I? Yeah.
International, yeah.
Yeah, that's. I believe G's in our background, in our comms box. Are you? Is that right, G? International? Yeah, maybe. Okay, right.
It is.
It is. Okay, so 2.6 miles, 17 turns. Lap record is a 1:24.6, done in 1996 by Gareth Reeds, never heard of him, in a Reynard Cosworth 95D. Yeah, know it well. Basically an F2 car. As I always bring up, Knickerbrook Corner. Knickerbrook Corner is called that because there was some construction work down there, and the guys doing the construction saw a couple running off, being a little bit sheepish and running off into the distance, and when they went and had a look just in the brook that's just by the side of that corner, they found the ladies' underwear in the just in the brook. So that couple had been having
we'd have never done that in our day, would we? We'd have never done that in our day.
Far too cold for that. I'll keep my knickers on, thank you. That couple were obviously having fun there at that corner, so the name stuck. So it's now called Knickerbrook Corner, and that's the reason why. And I bring that fact up.
That. That's cool. Yeah.
I tend to bring that fact up every time we're at Oulton Park. So for those who watch regularly, probably heard me say that many times. We had it. We had it Sunday night with the with Snetterton and the scary tree. One of our foreign viewers said, "Oh look, there's a tree that looks like a man," and we had to explain the whole, the whole scary tree thing. Anyway,
it's well known for that scary tree, isn't it, old Snetterton?
Well, it's gone now. It blew down last year.
It?
Yeah, so they had to remove it. So. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then go back on Motive's channel on YouTube and look up Snetterton from Sunday, and I'll explain it to you then. Otherwise, wait until it's Snetterton again, and I'll explain it to you again then. But in the chat, well, plenty from Prolapse, Team Prolapse. Yep, we've got a couple of Prolapse drivers in this one, in the shape of Unorthodubs and Laney. Both are Prolapse teammates.
Yep,
absolutely. So good luck to them, but we're not biased. We don't mind. I'll be double biased on Dan, can't I? I'll be absolutely double biased, being that
you're allowed to. You're his dad. You're his dad.
Yeah, because I'm his dad and he's a teammate. Then Dan for the win. Dan for president. Yeah, so.
Well, I don't know about president. I mean, we probably got that far, but definitely potentially for the win. But it could be anybody's race, couldn't it, mate? With the rain, I mean, we've had a few races this season, touring cars in the rain, and it's been really tough. Oh my God, the BMs have been doing well in that, so it'd be interesting to see how these guys all fare. And obviously with the reverse grid, you know, the top drives have got to fight their way up through the grid, haven't they? So of the track.
Indeed.
So,
and quite interestingly, Mark, are Tier 2 drivers who are just coming in to try Tier 1. Cobb being the fastest man on track. I know it's only a practice session. Yeah, and AmazingPieBoy 4th. And Kurt in 6th, so they have had a little bit of time in the Clios in the last race. So these boys have got their hand in. So we'll see how they get on in the race.
It's a bit of an advantage for them to a certain extent because they're and it was racing in the Tier 2. Sorry, it was raining in Tier 2 as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go. So they've kind of got a little bit of a feel. It depends on how many of the other guys have actually done a bit of practice. You know, so we'll see. So. Few more seconds now left, and looks like we've only got Kurt out on the track. He'll be finishing off now. MeltedDazzer finisher. They're all now in the pits, and in a second they'll be looking at the setup. So, yes, good lap by Cobb there on 56.8.
Yeah, Kurt ends up going second place as well. So the two new boys, the two guests, end up going first and second in that practice session. But it was only a practice session. This one's going to run. This is your sprint race, and it will work in reverse grid order. So the way that happens, for those of you who haven't tuned in before, what will happen is these guys will set off on their first lap, so like a formation lap, where they will get themselves into grid order, and then we will have a rolling start on that one. So that's the way it's going to work. And Mark, I believe you have the order.
Yes, I do have the order. So we'll go from the front to the back. So SmokieDevil is going to be at the front of this group, followed by Velligrik, then followed by Nickthevilla. Lane is in 4th. MeltedDazzer in 5th. Dan Unorthodox is in 6th. Delore in 7th. Looty McShooty 8th. John Boy 9th. The Only G in 10th. And as you said, the three guests, AmazingPieBoy, Cobb and Kurt, will be rounding up the grid at the back of the group. So looking good, mate. Feeling excited. Here we go.
Great racing with the Clios, always is. Quick word to our sponsor for this championship, SilentxEnergy, which is, again, if you don't know, if you didn't watch Tier 2 and hear Daniel drip on about it for half an hour, it's a plant-based energy drink, and I believe if you go onto their website and you use the motive code, you can get yourself 10 or 15% off, I think, which is quite impressive, isn't it?
There you go.
Yes, indeed.
There you go.
Just syncing up, these guys will just roll off the start like that, and then you'll see them crash into each other. That's brilliant. Well done, guys. You'll see get themselves into their order. These guys, regular motive racers, all of these, so they'll know how to play the game and what's needed. And as we see, we're on board with AmazingPieBoy. He'll drop almost to the back as he's a guest this evening. SmokieDevil, as you can see, has already made his way to the front. He is your pole sitter. It will be a rolling start for the rest of the duration of the whatever we've got, about 25 minutes. So
look at that, mate. Everybody's in position. They just know what to do. They just know what to do. Already there. Yeah.
Who says you can't educate pork, eh?
Exactly. They've done really well. So because we had a bit of challenges a few seasons back, but now everybody's really used to doing this now. So, and it really does give the opportunity for some of the people at the back of the season to potentially have a win, right? So, totally. especially in these conditions. So, it'll be interesting to see how far the G, for instance, and John Boy and Looty, who are obviously in the top 3 of the season so far, Yes.
Yeah. Speaking to G beforehand, he doesn't sound all that confident in this one. He doesn't feel that he'll be doing a lot of overtaking through this one. So, drive to survive. I think this one, isn't it? You know, stay on track and see what you get. As you can see, the puddle's already building a huge puddle there on the exit of that chicane. As we said, it's the international circuit that we're running, which is the full GP one, which is the better circuit. As they just come down to the tail end of the circuit now, so SmokieDevil works as a safety car. It's no overtaking, obviously, until they go across the start-finish line and they start the next lap. So it's SmokieDevil's choice when he wants to go, how he wants to do it. He can drop the hammer anytime he likes now. So yeah, his choice. So we're just waiting for see when SmokieDevil drops the hammer, and the rest of the field plough down on him as he comes round the last corner and just back into the.
Like he's gone for it.
Yep. Put the hammer down. Yeah. And he's away. We are green flagged and we are racing.
Go.
Go, as Murray used to say. So Smokey.
Absolutely.
Smokey with the slight advantage because he knows when to go first, so that guy will always have the slight advantage. Cameraman's off into the distance, isn't he? Yeah, that cameraman was sleeping because we were trying to look at Vigla, who's getting all kind of wide as we go round this turn for the first time this evening.
Nice and clean, mate. Nice and clean for old drivers.
Good start. Absolutely.
Let's see how they get into this very interesting hairpin at the end of the tail end of the circuit. That corner can be a bit tricky when you're going flat out. Obviously there won't be in this, but Villigre's coming up upon close. He's thought twice about it. It's coming on the inside right now with Smokey's going out wide. Yeah, so Villigre now goes into first spot. Good move there by Villigre on the first corner, on the first hairpin. And they were coming into the first major chicane. I love that chicane.
That is quite. I must admit, I quite like that chicane. And the tyre barriers here, don't ever hit them. Those solid. They're rooted right to the core of the planet. That's how solid they are.
That's right.
SmokieDevil under extreme pressure for who's that right behind him? Laney, I think, or Nickthevilla. One of those. Yeah, both of them. Laney not so happy in the rainy, but he's going on quite nicely. Up into third with Nickthevilla all over him like a cheap suit as they fight it out for the third position. But Vigla, Team Camber, is off and away in front.
There he is. He's pulled out a little bit of a gap, and is obviously Smokey's holding up this pack a little bit. Laney will be wanting to try and get past Smokey as soon as possible so he can get himself back up behind Villigre. So let's have a look. You can see here, see if we can try and get the run on into him into the first corner, which is a very dodgy corner to overtake.
It is.
So
easy to run
probably
wide
think
as well,
twice.
isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You've got to take the gears right on this one. I'll go on board.
Look at him!
Oh, he's lost it.
Yeah, he lost it on that puddle.
Just a little bit. Now he's got it all too. So he's only dropped one spot. So Nickthevilla, who's a very, very capable driver, did great in touring cars on Sunday at Snetterton. So Laney's got it all to crack on with. One thing about Laney, and I'm sure he won't mind me saying this, he's a very, very fast driver. Every now and then, though, he does make the odd mistake. I've noticed it. And out goes wide. Slightly goes wide. Nickthevilla, and he's lost it completely. That's put unseat a few of the other drivers. You get that, don't you? When you get one car goes off, you kind of look at it as you're driving. You think, oh my god, I better focus on my own bloody driving. So
absolutely. In the background there, Lucy McShooty and Dan having an absolute cracking battle. I think they kind of nudged each other a little bit as they were avoiding Nickthevilla going wide. They're having a cracking good battle for
close, isn't it?
Fifth and sixth.
Fifth and sixth. Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to get these gaggle of groups of cars, aren't we? Where you've got little groups. So you've got Dan and Luty in that little one there. The G's kind of caught up. Well, he's got a little bit of a gap to Delory, but he's got this group here at the back here where we've got Nickthevilla. Unfortunately, he's gone back into ninth now, and AmazingPieBoy's actually got in front of John Boy now with Cobb and Kurt bringing out the back So let's go back up to the front and see how Veligra is doing. He's 1.5 seconds. So he's not doing too bad, actually. He's keeping it. This is it. You've got to keep it solid, Kelly. As you know, you can't have any mistakes. You make one mistake, that's all it takes, and you are literally going to be a fifth place person if you just have one mistake. But
as we see quite clearly from Nickthevilla, just went back, and I mean the whole pack is spread out by 7 and a bit seconds. I mean Viglo has kind of checked out a second 1.8 in front, but the rest of the field, nobody's. There's no big gaps with the guys. It's just so close. Who was that went wide? Somebody went wide.
Come back on again there, basically. I think it's the G. Yeah, that's right. Well,
no
he managed to
done,
keep
really.
it in. No arm done. Yeah, exactly. So Laney's right up behind Smokey again. He was back in the same position as last time. So he's looking to try and get on the inside there, but just couldn't make it stick. It's still a bit wet. Maybe trying to get the traction out of these corners with the wet is a bit tricky, but I'm sure he'll be past Smokey at some point. Always getting right up close to him there.
The problem is, Mart, as you know as well as I do, if you take a move and you don't make it stick, you're off the track and in the grass. That's it. You're going back to the back of the grid. You know, so
that's right.
Anybody going to overtake, not just Laney, but anybody. If you're look, Lute's got to look up the inside of Laney there and couldn't quite make it stick. That has a knock-on effect. Dan now having a little bit of a look, but as I said, you know, if you end up making a move that isn't going to stick, you're going to end up with a Bottas and Russell.
That's right.
You know,
that's right, mate. You've got to keep your wits about you. Totally. Dan just managed to get in front of Luty just as you were talking there, mate. Just had a great little move coming to the top of the hill. Now they're coming back down here again. So Laney will want to get himself in front of Smokey, because it's all doing really well for Veligra. He's now got a 3-second gap. So someone's going to have to make some moves. A little bit wide there from Laney's.
So they're all over the place. Dan's put a move over on. Where's Smokey got? Smokey's gone back. That's what's happened. Smokey went wide, went back there. Had a real knock-on. That's taking him back.
I'm just going to go on board with this because I want to take you through this. So this corner's like a fourth gear corner. Fourth gear corner in the dry, third I would say in the wet. And as you're coming down here, you flat out this little kink to the left here. For me, I've got to lift off a little bit.
Laney, hold on to it.
Controlling it, absolutely. Back down, probably right down to second gear right here, right now. And coming in tight into the corner here to try and get as much traction out as possible, and then flooring it up to fourth gear. And then as you're coming into the first major chicane here, down to second gear wheel, it went a bit wide there. Trying to get as tight as possible around these corners to get as much speed out as possible. He's doing really well. And then flat out to fifth gear down to the second chicane, where you have to really slam on the anchors and then get yourself down in tight here. Always use he's gotten close right into that puddle there, very close to the solid tyres. Then back up the hill to probably for me is one of the worst corners that I experience. I can never get this corner right. Just flat down as much as possible as you can do, and then click it down to third gear, fourth in the dry. He's gone a bit wide there. Managed to keep it on tight, and then coming back down to the start of the lap again towards the last corner, up into fifth gear, and then Dan's all over him because he was a bit
going to go round the outside. Dan's trying to go round the outside. I can only see him. I can see him in Laney's mirror.
That's right. It's like he's really with him now, isn't he? Laney was definitely a bit scrappy on that corner. That lap there. A bit tight there.
Dan going wide. Laney through the puddle again. You would have thought he would have learnt that one. So SmokieDevil's got up in front of Dan because Dan went wide on the exit of whatever corner that was, as they come down to Cascades again. we stay on board with Laney for a minute, that's Cascades down through there. I'm going to put some names to these corners. This straight is called Lakeside. The next one is Island Bend. You're absolutely right. You have to kind of lift off a little bit, or in most of the things I drive, you have to lift off a little bit. You come down the bottom here. This is Shell Oil's corner, which is on camber. Camber's around the inside, which is great.
It is.
And then they're going to come up to Bitton's chicane, this section that Laney's coming up to next. So fast chicane, tricky chicane, and a very solid tyre wall. So he's through that, and this is Hilltop. He's going along now, Hilltop straight, and he'll be coming along to Hislop's chicane is the next one. As we look in the distance, Luty McShooty has now got in front of Dan. And in front of Smokey as he goes through. Laney goes through Hislops. Big scrap going on behind. This is Knickerbrook. He's coming through. We talked about Knickerbrook earlier and all the rest of it.
I can see the knickers over there, mate. Look, there's the knickers.
That's it. There we go. Clay Hill, this one, and down to the water tower is through here. This section, and then Druid's Corner. He's coming through right now. Warwick Bridge. This one they go underneath.
Derek Warwick, perchance?
I don't know, mate. Don't know. And this last corner is Lodge Corner. Or the Lodge Corner's here, and then the little bit of a kink as you go across start-finish lane is Deer Leap. So there you go. Don't you love tracks that have got names for the corners?
That's great, actually. The way you explain that, they all made complete sense. Or because sometimes you get stupid names, don't you, for some of the corners and some. But like Hilltop, for instance, there definitely is a hilltop as you're going just over the hill and just between the two chicanes. I tell you, coming back to you talking about Shell Corner, to go back to Dan and Luty, Shell Corner with the camber as you're going round, as you're going on the inside.
It's lovely, isn't it?
That is a lovely corner. It feels fast, doesn't it?
Yes, it
really
is.
Fast
and
for a tight corner.
I said earlier that I wasn't a big fan of this track, but I've got to say the last section, so the GP section really is, or not the last section, the GP section into what we were talking about. So Island Bend into Shell Corner and then back, that's it, just here. This is the best section of the track for me.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's lovely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah, good section of track for sure.
I just somehow managed to get. Oh, I know you mean some tough parts here, but that corner as you're going around on the camber, you can literally floor it in second gear, just get up into third as you're just coming out of it, and it just sticks. It just sticks to the road. It's amazing corner in many cars that you drive. I can imagine in these it's cool. I know it is in the Clio, in the Megans. But anyway, as we're coming round, so we've got Luty's managed to get himself just ahead of Dan, not by much though, but he's on. It was actually managed to catch right back up to Laney. Laney managed to get a bit of a gap, maybe a couple of mistakes. But,
could be,
Yep, absolutely. And Smoker's dropped back to fifth with MeltedDazzer just on his tail. Oh, just coming on the inside there is John Boy. Just managed to control that skid there. He nearly lost it there, Kelly. Just very, very good driving from Kelly. Oh, and it's very tight. Look at G in between this
G's getting involved now, and he
just got out. He just tapped out. Oh, lucky Melted. That was a bit of a race incident, mate.
Yeah, yes, indeed. But took old Delore with him, though. That was the problem, wasn't it? Another Team Camber driver. These. It was unfortunate. MeltedDazzer just lost it. It's so easy to do. Look, he goes again. Just got in that puddle that time. MeltedDazzer just got in that puddle, and just the back end won't stick with it. It's away. So
What's going around the corner here with Delore and the G? Very, very tight. The G really keeping Delore honest as they come right up the chaff of Delore here. Let's see if he's really going to put a bit of pressure on him coming into Shell Corner in a second. Really sort of pushing him towards the end there.
Yeah.
Oh, great close driving as always with the Clios, mate. And you see G's chomping at the bit to get past him. And you can see he's got a good setup there, mate. He's doing really well.
Yeah, although G did say he didn't think he'd be overtaken much, and he's in 9th place at the moment with over half of this race gone. That just proves how difficult it is to overtake in these kind of conditions, in these cars. Opportunities are rarely made. They're kind of given when other people make mistakes, and Delore is Delorey's one of those that's right at the sharp end. To be fair, he's no slouch, and he's
a great driver.
Yeah, very good driver. So you know, he's not gonna make it easy for G. And I'm sure G wouldn't want him to. We'll see how that one progresses and how long Delorey can keep the G behind. Up front, Laney's starting to drag Wiegler in a little bit. The gap down to 1.7 seconds. So he's dragging him in a bit. We'll see if he can drag it back before the end of the race. So he's not catching him in leaps and bounds, but he is catching. And taking along Lucy but Shooty and Dan as well for good company. Dan's then gapped back to John Boy a little bit by a second or so, a couple of seconds. So these three cracking on, trying to. Oh look, as Lucy goes right round down the inside before Cascades on Laney. Yeah, he must have had a run on him. So Lucy's up to second place. He's now can get after Wiegler. Of course, while these lot are scrapping and changing position, that gives a bit of respite for Wiegler out in front. I'm sure he'll want to take this home and make this a win.
Yeah, so, I'm not sure how many wins Wiegler has had actually, but
I don't think he's had any in Tier 1. I think he had a couple in Tier 2 last season, you know?
Okay. I'll check that. I think you're right.
I'm not 100% sure, but but most
I'll check now, mate.
Right.
And he's had Wiegler. No, he hasn't. The best he's had so far is a fifth place actually. So this would be great for him if he can put this one away.
Yeah, if he can keep it together, because Luty McShooty is coming. He's dropping Laney just a little bit. Dan's still behind Laney at the moment. He is coming. He's coming. Yeah. Luty's definitely got the bit between his teeth, and obviously loving these conditions because he's flying.
Yeah, absolutely. I can imagine Wiegler is looking at his timings come down bit by bit, checking his mirrors and thinking, "Oh my God, he's getting closer. He's getting closer." It's interesting, isn't it? How it's all sort of panned out on this one. Just going to the back. Unfortunately, Nickthevilla from that early mistake that he had. He's just not been able to pull himself back up the order, unfortunately. Looking at our guest drivers,
someone went off there. Who's that?
That looks like MeltedDazzer. No, it was AmazingPieBoy. AmazingPieBoy. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's like something's dangling off the outside of it. Oh no, it's the rain coming off the side. Again, the graphics on this place, I always comment on about how amazing all the little details are. It's literally got rain pouring off the car. So obviously the best of the guests at the moment is Kurt. He's obviously clearly been doing a sterling job there, trying to keep it on the track and not have any mistakes as he possibly can do. But no, he's been doing a great job, considering he started at the back, is now into 7th place. So getting back, oh look, we missed it, Luty's. Oh, sorry mate, as we've been looking through, but Luty's got himself up in front of Wiegler.
Yes, he has.
And so unfortunately, it might not make Wiegler's maiden win here, but it's still all to play for with 5 more minutes left. He's got to keep his head where he needs to be right now and actually really give as much of a push on Luty as possible. But Luty's looking solid out there, mate. He's looking really solid.
Yes, he is. He's definitely on a charge and loving these wet conditions. As we see Wiegler now beginning to struggle a little bit. Now he's under pressure from Dan, who has managed to get in front of Laney as well. We didn't see that happen. But Dan's on a mission as well. He's flying in these wet conditions. We know Dan's a bit of a rainmeister anyway. Very, very good in wet conditions. So, he's having a look at Wiegler now. And Laney's still there in close company as well. So Prolapse boys looking to put both those cars on the podium. We'll see how that pans out as Laney's having a look down the inside of Dan.
He's having a run. He's got the inside as well. He's got the inside on Dan here. So he's going to be a late break. Lots of late breakers.
Oh, I think
just
they
rubbed a little bit of the door handles there. Absolutely, a little bit of a love kiss there from the two Prolapse teammates.
Yeah, but Nicky will have to have a word with those two. It's back in the Prolapse office. Back in the Prolapse office for these two. They'll get smacked bodies again.
Exactly. It'll be a bit like
that's
someone's
John
just gone
Boy.
wide there.
John Boy was catching as well.
managed to keep it. Yeah, it was John Boy, mate. Yeah, it wasn't too bad, but yeah, he's lost himself a couple of seconds. Yeah, you can imagine Nicky and Laney would be like Nicky would be like Gunter Steiner having a go at N-Dubs and bloody Laney saying what I won't even swear. I don't want to swear. You know what he's like. If you've all watched that sort of stuff, we look like a bunch of you know what's bleep bleep.
Yes,
you can imagine Nicky.
Gunter's got a worse potty mouth than I have, so he's great for that. Just going back, we got 16 people watching. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. Last couple of minutes of this race, just in the chat. Cillian Hub, these guys need a SilentxEnergy drink ASAP. Don't we all, to be fair? Don't we all? We all need SilentxEnergy drinks right now to keep our energy levels up. If you want a SilentxEnergy drink, go over to their website. You can grab a code from the Motive website and get yourself, I think, 15% off any of their flavours.
So not bad at all.
It's all right, mate. Not bad, is it? You know, better than a poke in the eye with a short stick, isn't it? You know, so yeah, absolutely. So they're good deals from SilentxEnergy. So go and check them out after the racing, of course. Don't go and check them out now, because we're watching Luty with an absolute fire. Wiegler's managed to gap down a little bit again now, after Dan and Laney were having handbags at the start-finish line. It's given let Wiegler off a little bit and gap down just a touch. So the top four still only covered by a couple of seconds, as we see Lucy going round for another lap, just avoiding that big puddle that has formed on turn one.
Yeah, this is penultimate lap, mate, looking at the timings of what timing's left. So if Filligre's got to do it, he's got to do it now, really. He's got to really put as much pressure as possible, not make any mistakes, and get as close to Luty as he possibly can do to hopefully put a bit of pressure on Luty to make a mistake. But Luty looks to me like I don't think he's going to make those mistakes. He's been very, very solid in this rain.
Yes, indeed.
So let's just watch these last two laps out.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Dan. Dan's just probably half a second behind Filligre, but Filligre has actually got right up back behind Luty. If you just keep on putting the pressure on him, you never know, mate. You never know. Anything can happen in the last two laps.
Absolutely. And just jumping back to the the chat on YouTube, and Cillian has said, I swear, Kelly, that you can't say my name. It's your old age getting the better of you. Of course, it's Green Pies, it's Cillian, and I know exactly how to say his name, but it's turned into such a great wind-up to call him all kinds of names, really, isn't it?
Well, I've got to be fair to you, mate. I've always thought he looks like Cillian.
Yeah.
Maybe it's my eyesight on looking at the Discord list or something like that. That's probably what it is, to be fair.
Absolutely. or maybe it's just our age. Do you know what I mean? And it's maybe it is. But Cillian will be joining me for the feature race, aka Green Pies. Will be joining me for the feature race very, very shortly, because we've got to lose poor Mark. We've got to lose you to work commitments. That sucks, doesn't it? But
it does, mate. Yeah.
The money you're on, I wouldn't be so disappointed.
£2.50 an hour. Yeah, so that's what I meant. £2.50 an hour.
That's what I meant.
Absolutely. Exactly. And Dan's doing a great little job here on Filligre, and Filligre's going to be a bit of pressure here. I'm sure he'll want to come on with a second place, but Dan's managed to take him on the final lap. Oh, unlucky Filligre, and Laney's taken him as well. Filligre's lost it. The pressure's got to him a little bit on this last lap. And this is the boys, right? Luty, Dan and Laney, they've been there so many times. But it's no great shame potentially getting fourth, but hopefully he won't lose it to John Boy, who's coming fairly close behind him. But yeah, Luty, absolutely sterling drive, mate. Really solid. Hardly any mistakes.
Yes, indeed. Having a cracking drive. Just a couple of more corners and he's got this done. The rest of the pack aren't far behind, of course. Looks like Team Prolapse have dragged themselves up onto the podium here. Dan in second, Laney in third. Vigla, Team Camber going backwards, unfortunately. Led this race for so long. Just before we get towards the end, Mark, I want you to have a driver of the race. I'm not going to say driver of the day because we've got another session to come, but what's going to be your driver of the race?
I've got to say Luty, he hasn't put a foot wrong at all, mate. Hasn't put a foot wrong. So, you know, he's come on with a win. Solid drive in these very tricky conditions. And just as we're coming in here, Lane is putting as much pressure on Dan as possible because Laney does have probably a 1 second penalty, which if he loses position to Veligrek here as he comes into the final corner. Let's get to the front of the grid here. There's Luty to an absolutely outstanding win here. At the start, great flashing of the lights there with Dan in second, Laney in third, Veligrek gets fourth, and Veligrek gets third, John Boy gets fourth. Laney drops down to fifth because of that penalty. He's got to stop having penalties, is Laney. Kurt did a great job coming over the line now in sixth, considering he started at the back of the race. The G in seventh, Delory in eighth. Nickthevilla, after his early mistakes, a bit of a state on his car because of that mistake. And just rounding up the top 10 when the list gets up, we've got MeltedDazzer in 10th. So there's your 10 drivers for the sprint. Great race, mate, in that rain.
Absolutely, for sure. Yeah, some great racing there for sure. Looking at our guests, Kurt up into sixth place. I think that's a good drive in front of the only G, and in front of Delory. I think that's a solid drive. We may see Kurt permanently in Tier 1 next season, which looking forward to because he's a quick little driver, that one. So, Mark, we've got to say goodbye to you.
Unfortunately,
it wasn't anything like long enough.
No, well, we'll do the full lot next week, mate. Final race of the Clio season at Silverstone. Really excited to watch that. It's going to be close racing, just to see the finale. And anyway, I must go to work, and I'm sure you'll be in great, capable hands with Green Pies, who's an absolutely outstanding commentator as well. But have a good one, mate. Take care of yourself.
Yes, thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. Thank you for all your help this evening. So Mark will be back with us next week for the Clio Cups next week. We're going to take a short break, and then Cillian's going to join me. He's decided to nickname me Mr. Dinosaur, so and why not? He's going to join me in the commentary box for the feature race. We'll be doing qualifying in just a few moments. Don't go far.
The separation of talent and skill is one of the greatest misunderstood concepts for people who are trying to excel, who have dreams, that want to do things. Talent you have naturally. Skill is only developed by hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft. There's no easy way around it. No matter how talented you are, your talent is going to fail you if you're not skilled. If you don't study, if you don't work really hard and dedicate yourself to being better every single day. Make a choice. You just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. Just decide. I'm motivated by fear.
Has managed to keep it just ahead of DJPhilgreen at the moment as we're side by side here coming down the pit straight. Is Camber going to make this 3 wide coming towards turn 1? You can see there DJPhilgreen just trying to squeeze Emo Guy towards the right, giving him the middle of that space with 3 wide coming into turn 1. Camber very sensibly backs out of that one as Emo Guy manages to hold his position on the inside line and just about squeeze his way into the position there and maintains 8th place ahead of DJPhilgreen.
Here we go, and it looks like we're lights out here at Brands Hatch, and it's a good start there from pole from BT Targa. And it looks like we've already got Fury coming down the middle here, coming towards Paddock Hill. BT Targa trying to fend off Stefano as he comes onto the brakes. It looks like he has held onto the lead just about, but Serts is hassling him as he comes through Druids. And we see there Fury's managed to get that position on Oak Bar into Druids.
Stefano very late on the brakes there. It looks like BT Target's been pushed out a little bit, so Stefano's up into the lead. It looks like Fury having a look on BT Target, but BT Target managed to hold on to that P2 just appears when BT Target emerges from the pit lane. We know that a pit stop is around 25 seconds, and he's going to be very close with Rompu as he comes to the end of the pit lane now. Rompu drives around the outside of Panakill and up into third place, so that would have not been what BT Target wanted at all. Second separating these boys. Boostyn did have a lead of about 3 or 4 seconds. He was pulling away to Ziegler for a few laps, and now he pulls out to the left hand side. Ziegler has to leave the door open. We're going to go side by side here down the pit straight. Is Boostyn going to go for the move into the first corner? It looks like he does. He's up the inside, so Boostyn Borchardt getting that position side by side here down the pit straight. Oscar Style now has an opportunity to take this P2 position. We're side by side coming out towards turn 1. Oscar Style goes later on the brakes, up the inside. Elliot tries to undercut him on the exit. Still side by side, incredible stuff. Can Elliot hold it around the outside here, or is Oscar Style going to complete the move? It looks like Elliot somehow managing to hold on to that position.
To go for the move, both of these guys within about 2/10 of the car in front, as we see DeHuisRocker closing speed coming onto the brakes. He looks like he's making the move on the inside here of Bunny Prevention, but he can't quite get it done at the moment. Lewis goes a little bit wide there on the exit, and it looks like he almost spins it. Very close there to losing the car. HRT Zeus is up into second place, but DeHuisRocker was pushing a little bit too hard there in his quest to try and get ahead of Bunny Prevention. Bunny Prevention's holding on to the lead. Got DJPhilgreen lining Ratchet ass up here, but he can't quite make it stick at the moment by the looks of it. And Unorthodox has got a fantastic run on both of these guys, but Unorthodox, you just saw, had to get out of it a little bit there because he had a great run. It was going to most likely end up in him driving himself into trouble, and we can see Ratchet going straight on there over the chicane. Unorthodox driving around the outside there of DJPhilgreen and up into 5th place, and Unorthodox is going to try and get Ratchet as well. He has indeed. That is brilliant stuff from Unorthodox in every way that he can. John Boy very much on the back of these guys now as they come down the pit straight. Oh, we can see there, it looks like Nickthevilla getting a little bit loose there onto the grass, and now Little Lee just going to fancy his charges around the outside, and with 3 wide here coming out of the pit straight. John Boy trying to get involved in this action as well. In the end, I think surely Nickthevilla's going to back out. Yes, he does, but John Boy making a double overtake there coming into turn 1, and he's up into 6th place. What a move there from
pushing, you can tell he's pushing. Look at the way he's driving the car. He's making sure it's got nothing left to give. He's absolutely ragging it round Oulton Park. He's got alongside Exmar as they headed towards the island bend. Gary will have the inside line, and Exmar's wide, and he's off. Can he keep it out the tyre wall? Indeed he does.
Done. In fact, he's coming through the little chicane section there, and already going down the back straight. He's going to try and gain on the lead as he's back up into P3. What can DeHuisRocker do? Well, that's RWI Racing comes back as Zeus, and they've made contact, and somehow Zeus and RWI have stopped it from going fully round, but DeHuisRocker and Klaus Martini had to take a void.
Gee, you should start from the back.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the SilentxEnergy Clio Cup here on Motive Racing, here at Oulton Park. My name's Kelly Davis, I'm your commentator, and I'm joined with Cillian, aka Green Pies. Good evening, my friend.
Good evening, Kelly. I'm surprised you didn't give me one of my many nicknames you've done.
Yeah. We're getting a few now, innit? I thought just for a change, I would call you by your real name. There's a bit of a those of you who haven't. I mean, we've only commentated once together, but we're certainly getting a bit of banter, and I mistakenly called Green Pies Cillian to start with, and that seems to have stuck, and there seems to be a bit of a running joke. You commentated on the Tier 2s this evening. Good racing tonight, hasn't there?
Oh yeah, it's great racing, but one thing that I think there's been a wee bit of a hiccup. I haven't got an invite yet, so.
Oh, okay. Right, I'm sure that'll be sorted out any second soon. So just for a minute, we're stuck watching AmazingPieBoy, which, you know, isn't the end of the world. We don't see enough of AmazingPieBoy. Let me run.
I saw him in the Tier 2s, so AmazingPieBoy, he's a good driver.
Absolutely, and he's guesting this evening. Let me just run through where we are and what we're doing for the next little while. This is now a qualifying session for the feature race. Qualifying, as you can see, it's still raining here at Oulton Park. I think it's eased up a little bit from what it was earlier, but the rain is still coming down. But I believe we have a weather change for the feature race, so look out for that. So wet qualifying doesn't mean it's going to be a wet race. Certainly not in the virtual world. So we've got a 15-minute qualifying session, as we see AmazingPieBoy just losing it there. We've got a 15-minute qualifying session, and then we have a sprint race, however many laps that is, with sorry, not a sprint race, a feature race with a mandatory pit stop in there as well. So we've got a couple of guests tonight, being as a couple of guys didn't turn up, and we have the top 3 championship contenders from Tier 2 are joining us in Tier 1 this evening. So that would be Cobb, Kurt V and AmazingPieBoy, who you are watching on screen right now. So they are joining us as guests. We've lost a couple this week for various reasons. I don't know why, work commitments, so on and so forth. No Andy tonight, no WRCJ, and no DeHuisRocker, the house rocker. We've lost those.
No, not yet.
You know, we were just talking about that, G. G in the background. We're just getting the invites sorted out, so we're stuck watching AmazingPieBoy just for a minute, but that will change. You know better than I do, G. Why you guys are sorting that out amongst the two of you? What's that? Okay. What are you going to do? Yeah, otherwise we're going to watch AmazingPieBoy for the whole thing. So, ladies and gentlemen,
he's a great driver.
He is a great driver. We don't want to watch him all night, do we? You know, so you've got a couple of technicals, ladies and gentlemen, where we just need to restart the lobby again. The way that this works is that Green Pies is race director, and it hasn't just been set up for him just yet. With the change of commentators and so on and so forth, we just overlooked that. So there is a good chance that we will just have to change the lobby. So we'll
just follow your trail, and I'm losing your mind, and I'm losing your head. Let me escape from this unlove, cause I'm a prisoner. I just want to look my way and never back to you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. If you've just joined us, welcome along. We had a couple of technical problems, a couple of setting changes, nothing too serious, but we had to restart the lobby. But we are back here at Oulton Park for the SilentxEnergy Clio Cup. I'm joined with Green Pies, Cillian, and we are qualifying here, Jilly.
Yeah, it's a wet qualifying, Mr. Dinosaur. So hopefully that might shake it up before the race.
Absolutely, we're expecting a dry race for the feature race after this qualifying session. So 15 minutes of qualifying in the wet, and then we're on to the feature race. Feature race works as a normal race. Standing start, we have a mandatory pit stop that everyone has to take. Don't have to change tyres or do anything like that. They just have to take that pit stop. That will happen in the feature race. So we're back. If you're fancying like saying something in the chat, well then please do. We love to see your comments. Gives us something further to talk about as well as the racing. But normally some good action with the Clio, so we shouldn't need too much to talk about.
Something I want to quickly talk about is the guy that we're watching right now, Cobb, and the other two visitors. They've not driven once on this track while it's been dry, so I think that might be a wee bit of a disadvantage to them.
Oh, absolutely, but of course for this evening, nor is anybody else, you know. So, yeah, we'll see how they fare with the. Certainly, Kurt was doing quite well in the sprint race in the wet. So we'll see how they fare in the feature race and see we'll see how good they really are. Because as I believe, the top three from Tier 2 go up into Tier 1, or have that choice to go up into Tier 1 for next season. So this is where these guys are going to be, being that they finished the championship in those positions. I don't quite know the exact championship order for Tier 2 or Tier 1 for that matter, to be fair, but they will be stepping up to Tier 1 for next season. So this is going to be a good insight, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I like my Tier 2 drivers. They're the first guys that I commentated over, and they're probably my favourite guys to commentate over. So I'm definitely going to be supporting my 3 Tier 2 drivers that are here tonight.
Absolutely, and why not? And you know, the calibre of those drivers is just as good as Tier 1. They're more than capable of doing well in with these guys, so we look forward to it. I've had a couple of tussles with Kurt on track, actually. Me and him have had some great racing. He's Team Camber, which are all out of Belgium. Him, Delore and Vigla, who are both in this, and Putney, who is in certainly drives touring cars, are all part of Team Camber, all out of Belgium. And Kurt usually comments a lot in the comments and loves to get involved. So look forward to see how he gets on. Quick boy, isn't he?
Yeah, Kurt is he's very quick. He's 3 I guess we'll call them VIP drivers tonight.
Yeah,
they're very quick. That's why they are at the top of the standings in the tier 2.
Yes, absolutely. And as we said before, these Clio's extremely competitive cars. We see so much close racing. It's got to be one of the best championships for close action. And it's quite surprising that you know the small I will say entry level motorsport car is such incredible driving or incredible racing that we get from these cars. And have you driven one, Green Pies?
I feel like everyone's going to ask me that question. Yes, I've tried driving these cars.
Tried?
No,
yeah.
The keyword is tried.
Yes, they are. I mean, you back me up on this one. They are incredibly difficult. The rear tyres, a bit like the touring cars. The rear tyre, in fact, they're worse than the touring cars. The rear tyres just never ever warm up. You've got cold tyres on the rear all the time. It makes the back end of these cars, although they're a front wheel drive car, makes the back end of these cars extremely unpredictable and incredibly hard to drive. So if you're out there and you haven't had a go at sim racing, you want to get involved at Motive Racing's website, motiveracing.com, and sign yourself up. And if you think you can drive, come and join us. If you think you can really drive, sign up for Renault Clios. Would be my
100%. Like the F1, it's got fast drivers, but to really show that you're the best of the best, you have to sign up to the Clios. That's why I haven't signed up to the Clios.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why I dropped them really quickly at the beginning of the season. So yeah, these in the touring cars have got to be two of the trickiest cars on Project Cars to drive. So it makes for great racing, and I've had some absolute classics that I've commentated on with these Clio. So that's the kind of race we're looking forward to again tonight. So let's have a look, see where's where and who's who. Nickthevilla currently quickest on a 153.7. The only G just a tenth behind on a 153.9. They're the only guys in the 153s at the moment. Dan having a cracking good meeting, comes second in the sprint race, is in third place on a 154.1. John Boy, as we see Dan go slightly wide there, John Boy's in fourth place at the moment. Top of the guests at the moment is Cobb in fifth place. And he's got in sixth place he's got Luty McShooty, who won the sprint race. He is currently sixth overall and just retired back to the pits. So Delore, another one of the Team Canberra guys, is in seventh. Laney is in eighth as we stand. No one else has put a time up just yet, so still Vigla, SmokieDevil, MeltedDazzer, AmazingPieBoy and Kurt V all to put times up yet. So we'll see. As I said, it's a wet session. All the sessions have been wet so far this evening, but we do have a dry feature race. So in the dry conditions, who's your money on tonight? Oh, look at G going very wide on the grass, handful of brakes, all the rest of it. Yeah,
well, hopefully we might see G going out there and let someone else get the win for once in the feature race.
We'll see about that. We'll see. He'll probably disagree with that one, but who's your money on for this one in the dry?
For my top three, I'm going to have to put this man, Dan, on Orthodox, on the win. He got second place in the wet sprint race, but I think he's got the pace to get the first place in the feature race.
Okay.
And second, I'm going to go with Nick. I believe Nick, he's fast, but I think that the guys behind him will just be faster in the dry. And then to round off the grid, I believe in Cobb. I believe Cobb will be able to get up there and get a podium in this tier 1 race.
Okay, so is that your prediction for quali or your prediction for the race?
That's my prediction for the race.
Prediction for the race. Okay. Oh well, what will I do? Yeah, I'm going to be. I'm going to be a little bit predictable and go for the only G for the win from Dan from Luty McShooty. That's going to be my prediction for the race. But of course, anything could happen, and pretty much everybody on the grid has got a chance at winning this one. So stick around. It's going to be a great race. We've still got 6 minutes of qualifying. So still plenty of time for these guys to get out there and get a time on the board. They won't be doing any setup changes right now because it is going to change to dry as we go into the feature race. So we are going to have a dry race. Going to 21 laps with a mandatory pit stop. So pit stop for everyone in the feature race. So that's what we got to look forward to as we're on board with Kurt at the moment, and there was a big puddle in the sprint race on turn 1. That doesn't seem to be so bad at the moment. The rain's not quite as heavy as it was. Is it, Green Pies?
No, it's not. Also, that huge puddle, like that wasn't just a big puddle. That was a huge,
it was massive.
Right there. That was there in the Tier 2 race as well. They caught out quite a few good drivers. Caught out Cobb a few times as well.
Yeah, indeed. It did turn into a bit of a river, that one. But it's not raining quite so hard here for this qualifying. As they go through the Shell hairpin and coming up to this chicane. We did, just before we went off air, to make changes, we started talking about the track. Are you a fan of this one?
I do like the track. I cannot complain about the track. It's got nice undulations. It's got really good corners, really good overtaking points. Like this point right here, where you can get up the inside and be side by side coming through the chicane up to this part, which will basically all be flat out for these cars, I think, when they drive.
I don't know if they'll be quite flat out through Knickerbrook there, but yeah, it's. I've said before, I'm not the hugest of fans to drive it. I think the section around the Shell hairpin and through those chicanes is quite nice, but I do struggle with all these corners a little bit. I find it really quite tricky and not very wide. But I mean, it is an old school circuit. It's an FIA Grade 3 circuit. Owned by the Motorsport Vision Group, which is run by Jonathan Palmer, which owns this, Donington Park, and a couple of others, maybe Brands and somewhere else, all belong to the same company. So it's a firm favourite with the British touring cars every year. So I mean, it's a great track to watch, and always some great racing.
Yeah, as we just see some comments coming in here from Christopher. I hope that I won't be the only American in the race that I join in. No, you won't be. I believe that a few other ones, such as Chocolate Man in the Tier 2 race, which I believe you'll be going into, he's also American.
Okay.
I believe there are a few other Americans in the Tier 2s.
Right.
And then, you take it away.
I was going to say, I mean, I don't commentate Tier 2 very often, I'm unsure who's in there, to be honest. The only other American driver I know of who races regularly is Champ, across the Motive platform and races over on Simplay as well. I know Champ is American, but I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting that we have people from all around the world getting involved, which is fantastic, which makes for such great racing, and bring it on. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, bring it on for sure.
Motor racing really does have a very diverse base. Like, I'm from Ireland, and there are loads of drivers from the UK, France, Belgium, America. Like, we're worldwide.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as I said, the Team Camber are all from Belgium, which is, as I said, Delore, Wiegler, his brother, and Kurt. They're all Team Camber. They're all Belgium. So yourself from Ireland. Who else is on this grid? I'm not quite sure. To be fair, the nationality of everybody. I think there's a lot of English guys here as well. But certainly, who am I thinking of? Hunter, who commentates a little bit as well. He's Dutch. And I know there's a couple of Dutch drivers involved in the Motive League as well. So, as I say, diversity. We want more girls. That's what we need. Some more girl racers. You know.
Well, it's not that we want more girls. It's we
want girls
first.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
We want some diversity here.
Yeah, absolutely. So, any girls out there, if you fancy it, you know, you can even have a girl car like a Clio, you know. So, so come and get involved, girls. We need more ladies, or we need some ladies. I don't think we've got any ladies on the grid, unless one of these is and we don't know it. But we need more.
Well, you never know these days. People do identify as things.
Oh, mate, don't get me started on all that. We can't get started on all that. Yeah,
we probably can't talk about that as well.
Well, yeah, we can't really, can we? Because we'll probably offend somebody. You know?
Yeah, we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings here at Motor Racing. We do accept everyone.
Absolutely, you can be anything you want to be, guys. Absolutely up to you.
Yeah, you just need to be fast as well.
Yeah, we just care if you drive cars. That's all, really. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Like, genuinely, like, we don't really
care. We don't care.
About your background.
Yeah,
we want good drivers.
We just want drivers. Yeah, absolutely, drivers, and to be fair, commentators, stewards, all that kind of stuff is, you know, you can get involved and do any of it. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you know, you and me are not employed. We're not professional commentators. We're just here.
Far from it. Very far from it.
Absolutely. We're just here enjoying ourselves and getting involved. So if you want to get involved, then please do. You can get involved in so many levels. You don't have to be a driver, but you can get involved on whatever you like. But look, blink of an eye, Green Pies, and we are done with qualifying. So that'll be Nickthevilla then on pole. Good drive from Nickthevilla.
Well, I mean, your boy Dan, I believe he's got one more lap in the tank. So
he has. He's still got a chance. John Boy as well. John Boy's more than capable of putting this on pole as well. So let's stay on board with Dan and see what happens with him as he comes down to the shell hairpin. Nice and tidy. Hugs the apex. Hard on the accelerator up to this chicane. Don't bash into the tyre wall. Have you ever bashed into one of these tyre walls, Green Pies? They are solid. Rooted
I don't
to
crash, so
yeah, of course you don't. Of course you don't. They are absolutely planted. I think they're fixed in the centre of the earth. They're so planted. Dan went a bit wide on the exit of that chicane. Comes down to the next chicane, which I've forgotten the name of at the top off the top of my head. Coming through Knickerbrook and looking quite leery, but is it quick? Runs a little bit wide out of Knickerbrook. So into the final sector. John Boy's finished. He hasn't got any quicker. Dan's 2.5 seconds down on his delta. I don't think this is going to be any better for Dan, to be fair. He's the last man out there, so let's see how he gets on as he's just coming under the bridge. And there we go, on board with him. There you go, look.
We are looking through Dan's eyes at the moment.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And as he comes across the line, unless he's performed an absolute miracle, he's going to stay where he is, I would have thought, in third place. But we will verify that for you right now. So Nickthevilla on pole, 1:53.7, just 1.5 tenths behind is the only G in second place. Unorthodox in third, John Boy fourth, Cobb fifth, best of the guests in fifth. Looty McShooty was in sixth, Delore seventh, SmokieDevil eighth, Laney in ninth, 10th place in Viglo, MeltedDazzer is in 11th, Kurt in 12th, and AmazingPieBoy brings up the rear in 13th. And look at that, Green Pies, the sun's come out.
It's a lovely evening. Also, I just quickly want to comment on a comment from Christopher. He said he was going to tell his female friends who he does karting with about Motor Racing.
Yes, bring them on. Bring all your friends, Chris.
Yeah, not just your female friends, tell all your friends.
Yeah, tell all your friends, yeah. If you've got some male friends as well, tell them. Yeah, all get involved for sure. So this will be a standing start for this one. Pit opens on lap 7. 21 laps, mandatory pit stop, as I've just alluded to there. As we go back through, you can see all these drivers, some of them haven't turned their wipers off yet, but then it has been raining for for all the way through this evening. I mean, you know, there was some guy out the back of the paddock there loading up animals 2x2. It's been raining so much, you know, so It's nice and dry now, bone dry. Funny that, isn't it? A couple of minutes ago it was absolutely sodden wet, and now it's bone dry. But that's the virtual world for you, Green Pies, isn't it?
It really is. It's a beautiful sunset too. Or
yeah.
Is that I can't tell if that's sunset or sunrise.
I would think it's sunset. I didn't take notice of what time the race is starting, but they're normally evening, not.
Yeah, we sleep all through the day. We just come into the box whenever we're needed, so we never know what time it actually is.
Absolutely no idea what time of day it is, and so much jet lag going all around the world as we are syncing up, getting ready to go. Nickthevilla on pole. Can he convert this into a win? We are about to find out as we are green. And Nickthevilla, you quite even start from a lot of the pack, actually. Nobody much been able to make too many positions. Bit of pushing and shoving in the background as they go round into turn one, and Nickthevilla stays in first place with and there we go. That's AmazingPieBoy, who's collected somebody. Sorry, that was SmokieDevil who'd collected somebody. I don't know who. In the background, that's Veliga going very wide across the grass. MeltedDazzer, yeah, he's gone as well. Nearly collects Smokey for another time. John Boy, where is he? Up into fourth place. Dan with a tank slapper
very
on.
Close racing.
But he's got in front of the G. I don't know where he done that, as G gives him a little bit of a nudge, and then John Boy gives G a little nudge. Robin's racing, so they tell me, but Nickthevilla is pulling a gap already. He's pulled a second on Dan and G and John Boy as they all scrap for position. See back at look at that. I don't know if he hits him or not. I don't know if he hit him or not there, Green Pies, but they certainly all were bouncing across the curbs pretty aggressively, weren't they?
They very much were. As we're just watching John Boy, he's trying to go up on the inside, but just did not do the job.
No, absolutely. G is just hanging out the back end of that Clio, bouncing over the curbs, and he must have had a slowdown. Must have done, because he just come off the power then and let these guys through. He's been bouncing all over. Dan's done it as well by looks of it. I reckon they both had slow.
Nearly went up and overtook all of them.
Yeah, as Luty goes a little bit wide there, I'm sure Dan and G had slowdowns there because they were bouncing all over the curbs, which has given John Boy second place and MeltedDazzer in third. And those two are quick as. You don't want them in front of you. You want them behind you.
Very much so.
Yeah. So out front, Nickthevilla's checked out in second and a half.
Wide.
Yeah.
They're going to make a 3 wide going into turn one.
We'll see. Yeah, so certainly Dan and Luty go round together. G in there as well. John Boy getting away a little bit. He's got his eyes set on Nick and is chasing after him. These three behind him now. Luty, Dan going. G going down the inside of Dan. They rub door handles again. A lot of pushing and shoving between these two in the first couple of opening laps of this feature race. John Boy's catching. Yeah, you're quite right. John Boy is catching up to the back of Nick. Nick goes quite deep into that hairpins, given John Boy is absolutely flying. Green sectors as he chases up to back of Nickthevilla. McShooty's dropped down a little bit now, and he wants to get involved in this. Nick has a bounce across the curb, giving John Boy a cracking run down the inside into the next chicane. You said about this being an overtaking opportunity. He's got it done before the chicane. All done and dusted as Luty has a look down the inside later.
Goes for it as well.
He does. That was late on the brakes. Very, very late on the brakes, but made it all stick. I didn't think he was going to get that slowed down, did you?
No, I thought he was either going to go into the side of him or completely overshoot it. Oh no, that's Cobb. My bad.
Yeah, Cobb. Yeah, Cobb's with the same livery as got the same livery on as G, hasn't he? The Monster Energy Nick Hamilton livery.
And as we actually go on to G, he's pushing. I don't know who that is. Around these corners.
G's gone back a little bit. I don't know what's happened to him. Has he had another slowdown, or that's Delore that he's just gone round again? I don't know if and Nick's going backwards. Nickthevilla is going backwards now into fourth place behind Dan. John Boy's up into first, and so Nickthevilla is going backwards, unfortunately, after such a great start. He's dropping back a little bit. John Boy out in front now. That's going to be a difficult one to catch and pass. As John Boy He's definitely quick enough.
This racing has been crazy. And as the only Jeep makes a lovely overtake on the straight. That was a great getaway he got.
Yeah,
I'm getting quite thirsty. One thing I could do with right now is
SilentxEnergy, couldn't we all? Just a drink would be quite nice, but to be fair, yeah, SilentxEnergy would be fantastic. Which are currently sponsoring this championship, the Renault Clio Cup. SilentxEnergy. Go and have a look on their website. If you get the code off the Motive website, I think it's something simple like Motive 1 or something like that. As we see, look, John Boy has gone backwards. And there's us talking about drinks and looting but shooting. I don't know what happened there. I wasn't paying attention.
But lovely by Dan.
Yeah, indeed. I didn't see what happened. I'm trying to look over to the stream now because there is a bit of a delay on the stream, but I can't work it out either. But looting but shooting. Second time he's out in front in this race. He won the sprint race. Now he's leading the feature race. The G comes up down the inside of John Boy and moves into third place behind Dan.
I believe John Boy's going to try and go around the outside around this corner. He did try the switchback, but it didn't really work.
Yeah, he's having it's a brave look, wasn't it?
Yeah, he really wants that position back because he knows that the only G is fast, and if he lets the only G off, then he'll probably not see him for the rest of the race.
No, absolutely. He needs to strike what he can because well,
these guys are going four into one corner.
Yeah, they are. They're not afraid, are they? That's for certain.
No, they're
sure.
really not. There's a reason that these guys are the tier 1 drivers.
Yep, and this is why Clio's is so good, because there is racing like this every week. And did Dan have a bit of a slowdown because he had a gap there to the G? Now he's right. G's right in there again, trying to go all the way around the outside. That's brave round there. Can't quite make it stick. Dan's covered him off, but G moves from one side to the other. Again, he's on the outside for the first part of the chicane and gets pushed wide. Oh, spins it round.
Spun it.
Yes, indeed. So now he's got work to do.
Yeah, he's really got work to do. He just drives through those cones. Poor cones, getting abused at this track.
Yeah, absolutely. Who'd want to be a cone?
Honestly, it would be the worst job in the world to be a cone.
Yeah. It'd be worse than being a commentator, wouldn't it? Yes, indeed. So keep your comments coming in the chat. We would love to hear from you. We've had Christopher again. I might put a Motive Racing on my visor. Go for it, my friend.
Do it.
Yeah, definitely. And the wall. The wall, nice overtake, Dan. Yep, I don't know which one that was in, which one that was, but we've had a few overtakes. So, yeah, so Looty but Shooty out in front. Dan now up to second with John Boy. Very, very close company, John Boy behind Dan. But Looty's checked out, 3.2 out in front. Dolore's got interest in this battle and is giving Nickthevilla a hard time for 4th and 5th place. So far so good. Lap 7 is when the pit window opens.
Yeah, so there's only a few more laps. It looks like Nick got a really bad exit out of there, and that's just, Dolores made it on the straight line, I think. Yep,
and John Boy has got in front of Dan down the straight there as well. They went side by side, and John Boy has got in front of Dan just down there on the straight. Obviously got a better run out of there, so Dan's got to do it again and get past John Boy for second place. While this is all going on, Looty is getting away out in front with 3.6 seconds ahead of these guys who are scrapping behind him.
Yeah, Louis going to want to make as much of a gap as possible as Dan's going to try and go on the outside of this turn, I believe it is.
Good luck. Let's see what he can do. He's got the run. He's certainly got ahead, but John Boy just a bit later on the brakes covers him off. Dan tries to get down the inside. Look. Oh, that was a move. Again, Dan takes another switch left to right and tries to get down the inside and get an overlap on John Boy.
Dan is all over the back of him, and he's wanting to get past him. I think he's going to try and outbrake him going into this right-hander here. He'll have the inside. He set it all up. Keep it round.
Yeah, John Boy just running all the way around the outside of him. He's not afraid in the slightest. Knows exactly where his grip is, as these two have been side by side now for about 4 corners. As they go side by side again.
They're touching.
Yeah, and look at that. Delorey's getting interested in this. He's thinking there's a position to be had here. Dan covers Delorey off, and still going side by side with John Boy. But finally, Daniel gets the job done. Yeah,
but all that fighting has just let Looney McShooty just get a 5-second gap now.
Yes, indeed, you're quite right. Some great racing from these guys, though. This battle isn't over, Green Pies, is it? John Boy's going to...
Far from it.
Yeah, far from it. Delorey's involved, John Boy's in there. Nickthevilla has dragged himself up onto the back of this battle as well. So, Nickthevilla is going to be interested in this one as well. It's a great shot, this, isn't it? Following behind.
Yeah, Delora has a perfect seat to watch these two battle, but he'll want to be in front of them soon.
Yes, indeed. But as you just pointed out, and it's still happening, Lucy McShooty is just getting away in the background while these guys scrap and fight and jostle for position. This is letting Lucy just drive away into the distance. Although, lap 6, we've got 21 laps, so we've got plenty of action still to go. Another 15 laps still to go, and a pit stop from everyone. So still plenty of action here at the Clio Cup at Oulton Park.
Yeah, a few of these Clios seem to have been in the wars a wee bit.
Yeah. Oh, well, that was Cobb, wasn't it?
That was perfect timing on my part. I believe that was
Cobb, I think.
Cobb and AmazingPieBoy.
Yeah.
I wonder, is Cobb just going to retire? No, he's going.
He's moving. So
AmazingPieBoy's off as well.
Cobb and AmazingPieBoy, both guests this evening. They're certainly drawing out the battle lines for next season, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm glad that I switched back and saw that.
Yeah, ideal.
He's going to try and go up on the inside of John Boy, and John Boy is
goes real wide.
Very wide there.
Yeah, he's going to get a slowdown out there.
Yeah, that's not where he wants to be. Not at all.
No, and Dan trying to pull away from these guys now and trying to get after Lucy McShooty, but he's not really making a dent on him at the moment, as we see John Boy back right out of it. He had to, because he was going to get a penalty for that long, that going wide at turn 1. He would have definitely had a slowdown for that, which again, those guys who maybe don't play the game and don't understand how it works, you have a slowdown system on this game, so when you cut the corner, you'll get a ping, the most annoying noise in the world, that goes ping and tells you that you need to slow down. You then have to back off and give that time back. Unfortunately, with the game, you seem to give much more time back than you gained, and sometimes it can be really damaging to your race. So it's...
Well, I guess it's a punishment. If you go off, you have to slow down.
Yeah, I mean, it can be a bit... I mean, you know, you race this game... who's that?
Who is that?
That was Delorey. Delorey just dropped it on that corner. Oh, what a shame. He was going so well.
Yeah, that is not where he wants to be pointing. He needs to be pointing in the right direction to be going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Right direction for forward. Yep. As John Boy's first to pit.
John Boy's in for his mandatory.
Yeah, he's in for his mandatory pit. As I said, everyone's got to take it. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to change tyres. You don't have to put fuel in. But you do have to make the stop. If you do choose to change tyres, it takes an horrendously long time on this game. The project cars...
No, that's if the mechanics even choose to do the tyres.
Yeah, if they feel like it, because sometimes they just won't do it. And we've had some mixed condition racing, wet to dry and so on and so forth, and the mechanics just don't bother. They just can't be asked. You ask them to check. Oh, look at that. Who's that we're on board with?
Laney.
Laney, look at his bonnet. Laney's having a bit of a quiet race down in 6. He's normally up a little bit higher than this, but he's having a bit of a quiet one. But certainly made a mess of that bonnet. I don't know if it would have done that, because I do believe that Renault Clio's all the front end is plastic, so it probably would have snapped and not bent like that. But hey ho, hey ho, what do I know? You know, sorry.
We're the commentators, not the drivers. It's only a game.
Yeah, it's only a game, but sure the bonnet wouldn't have bent like that. But there you go. But yeah, just going back to the whole slowdown thing. If you don't take that slowdown, you then end up getting a penalty, and then it spirals from there. Really, once you're into one penalty, yeah, you kind of spiral into more and more penalties. For the viewers at home, if you look on your screen, you see the timing sheet there on your left-hand side. The guys who've got a red mark by their name means that they already have a penalty. Now you can pick penalties up for cutting corners, and you can get it for a jump start, and you can get it for speeding in the pit lane, and that's a big one. That's a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So we don't know what those guys have got penalties wise, probably a second or 2 seconds or whatever, but that's kind of how it works, just in case you haven't played the game before.
I just checked. Vilger has a 2 second, I believe, and MeltedDazzer has a 1 second.
Yeah, so there you go. There were some penalties in the sprint race, which, I mean, Laney came across the line in 3rd place, ended up 5th because of those penalties. So obviously it has an effect. Oh, look at that! I can see a rev counter now as well. Thanks for that, Green Pies. I can see everything now. Yeah, it's great.
I've really just given you everything. But Dan has really caught up to Ludi McShooty.
Yes, he's taking that time out of him for sure. So I did say Ludi McShooty and Dan in the top 3, didn't I? But not quite in that order. But nevertheless, that's where Ludi in first and Dan in second. I'll tell you who's hanging on quite nicely is Nickthevilla. Is hanging on quite nicely at the moment in 3rd place, but he's going to have the only G on the back of him very, very shortly. So look out for that one as it happens. So from my reckoning, we've only had a couple of pit stops so far. MeltedDazzer, he had a pit stop.
You can kind of see on the map. You can kind of see on the map who's where.
Yep. So all these other guys to take their mandatory pit stop any time between now and lap 20.
Yeah, anyone from John Boy down has done their mandatory.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, I don't know if they all have, but
Cobb's,
yeah.
I think in Cobb and AmazingPieBoy's case, they've just been in the wars together.
Yeah.
As these two are, the only G is trying to get past
Nickthevilla. Yeah, I said he'd catch him up pretty quickly, didn't I? And there he is. Yeah. So the only G having is Nickthevilla got he pulled over a bit quickly there. Yeah, just kind of let the only G go a little bit. Is he, not bothered? Does he feel that he's not?
Did he know that the only G is faster than him? Like, look at those lap time differences. The only G did a 1:47. Nick is only doing 1:49s.
Yeah.
No point in slowing it down.
Yeah, it depends how hard you want to fight your position, I suppose, isn't it? Maybe Nick's playing a more strategy game and knows he's not really in a fight with the only G, so just let him go, But yeah, or maybe it was a slowdown. Again, we don't have the information to hand if he was doing a slowdown at that time, So, so top 3: Ludi McShooty, Unorthodox, and the only G. I'm sure that's what I said, but in a slightly different order.
Yeah, well, I'm just after seeing a comment here from The Wall, I believe, and he was asking if the damage is just visual, and I am very sure
it is.
Visual,
it is just visual. So no structural damage or suspension damage or engine damage. Don't run any of those.
There'd be a few wheels all over the place if we had actual damage on with these guys.
Oh, absolutely! There'd be bits of Clio everywhere. It would look like a Clio scrapyard if we had damage on. But
it really would.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go out there cleaning that mess up, because that would be quite a mess with these guys rubbing and racing.
Yeah. Oh, the wall! You really must pay attention. Really. The mandatory pit stop. You have to change time. No, you don't have to do anything. Wall. The mandatory pit stop. All you have to do is go in and take your pit stop. They can fuel if they want to. and they can change tyres if they want to. But and the Wall is a guy who races as well. I believe I've seen him here, there and everywhere racing, so he will know, but I'll tell the rest of the viewers, any kind of pit stop action as we see. Who's that gone into the pits now? Is that us, Cobb? Yeah. Any of the pit stop stuff you do here with project cars, as we said before, the mechanics are useless. They are absolutely terrible. If they...
Unorthodox is right on the back of Luton McShooty.
He's in front of Luton McShooty. Yeah, Luty's slowed right down. Luty's about to be taken by G as well. It looks like he backed off Green Pies, because he was really slow when we cut to him, wasn't he?
Very, very slow.
Look at I love this camera angle. Yeah. Look at the back end just kicking out on that. That's looks like G's going to try and take him down the inside. I think Luty had a major slowdown there, didn't want to take a penalty, and now just lost another position to the only G. So the only G moves up into second place. He's now going to be wanting to hunt down Dan for that first place. So yeah, neither of these guys taking the pit stop. Just to finish off what I was saying about the pit stops, the mechanics are not very efficient on this game. A fuel stop or a tyre stop just takes so long to do that it's just not worth it. You lose too much time, and it just isn't worth the aggro. On the other hand, if you want a headlight change, they are brilliant. Better than Halford's for a headlight change. And of course,
if you want to change your tyres, you may as well get out and do it yourself.
You might as well. Yeah, you might as well get out the car, have a cup of tea, change your tyres, eat a pasty, and then come back and drive the car for the time that the mechanics actually do it. The other thing, of course, they don't change wing mirrors because the wing mirrors are indestructible. However much damage you'll see.
They make these wing mirrors out of the same stuff that they make Captain America's shield.
Yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely unbreakable and impregnable. You'll never see a mirror missing off these Clios because they're just, as I said, indestructible. They're like Superman's mirrors, you know? So,
like, you could get rid of the entire car, but the wing mirrors will still be floating where the car should be.
Yes, absolutely. So everything else will fall off it before the mirrors, which, yeah, you know, to be fair, half these guys don't use the mirrors anyway.
No, they really don't.
Yeah.
I think you'd be lucky if they actually look behind them.
Yeah. Well, they certainly don't use the mirrors on the door for this. So look at this. Who are we watching? Laney. Oh, sideways Laney. And who's in front of him? Delore, is that? Or Vigla? Vigla, yeah, absolutely. Who went wide. And Laney makes up another place, moves up into 6th place. Not having a fantastic race this evening is... Oh, look at this as well. This is MeltedDazzer
and Kurt.
And who is it? Kurt, yeah.
Yep. I'm voting for Kurt to win this one.
Yeah.
On, Kurt, you got this. He's going to have the inside coming up here.
Yep.
Will he make it, though? Is the
question. Melted goes wide.
Yeah, it does not matter. MeltedDazzer goes very wide.
Very wide. He's looking...
Grass.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, so Kurt manages to do that one. He is... currently our best guest driver, isn't he? Out of the 3 guest drivers, not having such a good race as he did in the wet. And we watched G. Yeah,
he spun it again.
He hit that barrier. Did you see that? He hit that barrier, the indestructible barrier, the tyre wall, and it didn't move in the slightest, but G did. He got spun right round. So a mistake from G there. He was pushing very, very hard. Nickthevilla now looking interested on the back of G, but put Luty McShooty back into 2nd place. So Luty would be happy with that, to see the G making a mistake there. Just a little bit greedy on the curb there, and G just clouted the tyre barrier, puts it back into 3rd place. And I'll tell you, someone else will be happy with that. That'll be Dan. Dan will be happy to see that as well. So,
Dan will be very happy with that, yeah.
Yes, indeed. As he's now 3.7 seconds ahead of Luty McShooty, he's moved back up into 2nd place in this race. And Dan's taking his pit stop.
Making a pit stop.
Yes, indeed. And he's in the pits. And Nickthevilla goes through. So we should see everybody down to about John Boy go through. If John Boy gets out in front of Dan, then John Boy's been putting in some huge... Yeah, I don't know if he is. Where's Dan?
No,
Dan coming out?
Coming out of the pit lane now.
Is he going to get out in front of John Boy? Yes, he is.
Well, John Boy's only coming around the first corner now, but I think John Boy might undercut the Only G.
He might do, yeah. John Boy having a... after his pit stop, we haven't been on with him, but it looks like he's been doing the consistent lap times, because he wasn't a million miles away from Dan there, was he?
No, let's come back on to John Boy. I think that he's really pitting early. I think that's going to give him the nice undercut, especially with the Only G has been making really some uncharacteristic mistakes. He's spun twice in the same chicane.
Yes, yeah, pushing hard for sure. Yeah, I'm thinking that John Boy's just been, running his own race since the pit stop in clear air, just staying out of trouble and putting the lap times in. Because you're right, I think there is a chance he could certainly be bothering the Only G and Nickthevilla when they do their pit stops. So we'll see how that pans out. Only 7 laps left in this race. I think everybody from Unorthodox, Dan, upwards, I think everyone's still yet to pit, if I'm right. I haven't seen Laney.
Well, I mean, he was the lead driver, and I don't think any of these guys, they're not matching his lap times that he was doing before he pitted. So I think it's safe to say that he is in the net P1 at the moment.
Yes. Yeah, so we reckon Dan's in the net lead at the moment because everyone else has got to pit in front of them, so they're still to take the mandatory pit stop. We can do that anytime between now and lap 20, or on lap 20, as long as it's not the last lap, because that doesn't work, does it? You know, so...
no, because you need to do at least 1 lap on your tyres.
Yep, and of course, if you went across into the pit lane on the last lap, you would then be finishing the race in the pit lane, which would also be wrong, you know, so...
Yeah, no pulling a Michael Schumacher as we're just watching Smokey.
That was a long time ago when he did that.
Yeah, well you would remember it.
Yeah, did he? I think he took a drive-through penalty, didn't he?
I don't know. I wasn't alive.
Yeah, so I just got that. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
As we're watching these two fight over 10th place.
Yeah, I missed that, and then my missus is giggling next to me, and I wondered why, and then it clicked. Welcome back. Yeah, as you say, these two, who have we got? MeltedDazzer and who's that? SmokieDevil, isn't it? That are scrapping it out.
Let's give you your favourite camera angle.
It's a great camera angle. I do like that one.
It really is a nice. It's really great watching the F1 whenever they put on the nose camera this close to each other.
Absolutely. No, it's unfortunately watching at this camera angle is hard to see anything else going on, but it is a great camera angle as Smokey goes a little bit deep out of that chicane. Melted looking one way, looking the other. I doubt you'll go all the way. Well, you can go all the way around the outside. We've seen it done in the past. But he's going to have a look.
I don't think he's going to make it.
No. Not there as they come into Nickelbrook now. Yeah, another couple of overtaking opportunities. Excuse me, just a bit of wind. Don't worry about it, it's my age. Yeah,
you are old now.
Old now, innit? You'll get there one day, son, don't worry. None of us can beat it. None of us... Whoa, who's that getting Larry out there? That was Laney, wasn't it?
Very wide.
Yeah, getting very wide indeed. Yeah,
just giving up his position.
Yeah, just giving up that position to Vigla. Although, oh look, Vigla going deep into there as well. Run Laney out wide as well.
Yeah, Laney going very wide again. You can see that his wee Clio has really gone through the wars there.
It certainly has. I've seen a couple of them outside McDonald's a few times, looking like that. But the Only G has caught back up to Lukey, hasn't he?
He really has, and the Only G, at least the front of his car, looks intact.
Yeah. Lucci's not looking too bad.
one thing that it has on the front that shouldn't be there is that Monster Energy. We are sponsored by SilentxEnergy.
Yeah. Yes, we
As
are.
I believe we lost someone.
Oh, Luty's gone deep and wide and completely lost it. He good to recover that. He was proper sideways as he exited. Did exit left out of that corner. That's put the only G up into first place. Yet to stop, so we don't know where he's going to be in relation to Dan. Has he done enough? What we like lap times, only G doing a 1:47.6 on the last lap. Dan in the 1:49s. So
yeah, Dan has lost quite a bit of time to him.
He has, yeah. I don't know if Dan's in traffic. No, he's not. He's in clear air, isn't he? Because he's got
he's just not been able to get the times.
Yeah, so we'll see what Dan's time is as he comes across the line this time. Yeah, a 1:49.3 for Dan. So he's not flying. That's for certain, sure.
Something I'm noticing, because I do like to notice on the fuel gauges, Dan's only got around about 10.8 litres of fuel, whereas John Boy, who's also pitted, has got 19 litres. So I wonder, has Dan got enough fuel?
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. Dan's not normally one to...
drivers. Yeah, no, because he's got really low.
Dan's not usually one to misjudge the fuel, and we've only got 4 laps left to go. So, be interested to see what the usage is. These cars again are very susceptible to fuel load. If you put loads of fuel in them, then the back end is a little bit more stable, but you obviously carry that weight, and the car is slower. So, I think Dan will probably be okay on that, but we did have a couple of guys run out of fuel in tier 2, didn't you?
Yeah, we had. I can't remember who it was. He ran out of fuel right on the very last part of the track.
Who was that? I feel like it should foul guest. Was it foul somebody or other?
I think it might. Yeah, foul guest. I think it might have been him. I genuinely don't remember, but he lost. He went from 8th place to I think 11th because he'd already lapped a few people. Including G comes in to make a stop.
Right, this will be interesting.
Dan.
Yeah.
Let's ride on with Dan. See if he can make it. We'll ride on his. We'll sit on his roof. See if he can make it out in time.
Yeah, I don't know. He's quite well. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
The build up.
Yes, indeed. So where's G? Come down through the wall, and I can't see G. Yes, look, there's G. He's going to get him.
It's going to be so close.
That was very close, I think.
That was extremely close. And now John Boy. I told you, John Boy was going to undercut the only G, and he has done it. But he did. Right on the back of Dan.
Yeah, you're quite right. So John Boy been having a flyer quietly while we haven't been watching him. He's been putting the hammer down and putting the lap times down. So Lucy McShooty's winning this one at the moment, but the net leader here is Dan after his pit stop. But John Boy is not giving up on winning this race at all. He's looking very, very racy. And in a minute or two, the only G will be joining this battle for sure. So we're going to have...
Yeah, the only G is going to have very fresh tyres compared to these two.
No tyre changes. Green pies.
Oh, yeah, wait, no. Never mind then.
Yeah, never mind. Scrap that. Rewind. Rewind.
I was wrong. They don't change the tyres.
I think if you just don't mention it again, I don't think nobody noticed. So don't worry about it too much. I think we're gonna have a 3-way scrap for this win. Green pies. It's going to be 3 laps of these guys fighting out. Just.
Where did the OG go?
I don't know. Maybe a bit of a slowdown because he's just dropped off these guys again, hasn't he? Yeah. You know.
Dan is probably hoping that John Boy, with his raciness, is able to defend off the OG just long enough so that Dan can take the win. I told you Dan was going to get the win, so Dan is going to win. I'm saying it now.
Well, I'm perfectly happy with that outcome. Green pies, not got a problem with that in the slightest. But I think John Boy might have something to say about it, and he's certainly trying to have something to say about it as he's all over the back of Dan in these closing laps. The only G has got a penalty as well, mind. So not only has he got to get in front of these guys, he's also got to pull a gap from them if he wants to win this race. And he's got a 1 second. Yeah, so it's not huge, but he's still got to get up past them and and pull a second in front if he wants to win this one. But there's a strong chance of him being on the podium. We'll see where McShooty is when he finally takes his pit stop, but I don't think he's going to come out in front of these guys. Oh, John Boy getting right up on the curb there. I had to back out of that one a little bit, he did, because he was all up on the curb and going sideways. As we see, we're on board with the G, chasing these two down. These are the net leaders, because Nickthevilla and Luton McShooty still haven't taken their pit stops yet, so you're looking at the race for the lead. 2 laps to go.
I'm going to make a prediction. I think that Luton McShooty's just overcut them all, because whenever the only G came in, he had a 20-second lead to Dan, and Dan just about came ahead of him. Now, I think Luton McShooty might be able to come out ahead of the only G and John Boy.
Okay, well, that's an interesting prediction, and I'm not going to disagree with it, because we're going to find out now. Luton McShooty comes into the pits now. He's not going to do tyres, he's not going to do fuel, so we'll back on with unorthodox. He's coming round the last corner, and he's got John Boy here. And he's got the only G, very, very close company. I think they've got it done, you know. Where's Luty? Luty's coming down the pit straight. They've got it done, you know. All three of them, Yeah, I think Luty had a bit of a spin, didn't he, earlier on, which probably cost him the opportunity to be in with this battle. But I mean, another good race from Luty. But just off the back of these two, as we go into, we're lap 20 of 21, and Dan's still managing.
Be a great last lap, I think.
It's in it. Dan's all over the shop, trying to defend, keep these guys behind. The only G, John Boy's the one with the pressure, isn't he? He's trying to attack Dan and not get pressured by the only G, who's right on the back of him. And Dan under great pressure now as they come back up to the chicane, and John Boy having a look round the outside. And oh god, this is going to be tense, isn't it?
Yeah. We need a SilentxEnergy drink right now to keep us energized.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, and I've gone from sitting down to standing up. That's how incredibly tense it is. I've got a little bit of cramp, but exciting racing as they come round. We've got that's who we on with only G, getting very up close and personal with John Boy there. Just giving him a little touch on the body there, and as you can see, Dan right there. Look at this camera. Oh, G's going down the inside, right down the inside. It's going to put one.
This is such tight.
Look, John Boy goes wide. He's on the grass, but he's managed to stay with the momentum going forward. Is he going to have a slowdown for that one?
Oh, I hope not. That's going to really ruin his time.
Yeah, absolutely. And
he's been up the inside line.
Yes, indeed. Look at these three. They can hardly be separated by a fag paper. They're so close as we're into the final lap. It's going to be a photo finish on this one. The only G isn't done yet. Dan's defending for his life. John Boy's still in there, and it's going to be a cracking lap. Don't go anywhere. G's half on the grass.
The only G still has a 1 second time penalty. We need to remember
that.
The only G does.
Oh no, and Dan's gone out wide. Dan's gone wide, and he's wide at Cascades, but he's managed to put it back on track, and now the only G has got to put a second if he wants to win this race from Dan. So Dan has got to stay, isn't it? Dan's got to stay within a second, and the only G's got to drive for his absolute life, and Daniel's still got John Boy breathing down his neck as well. What a race this is turning into, and just half a lap left as they come through the chicane for the last time. Dan extremely close. If the wind mirrors were broken, he would have broken one, but they're not, and they aren't. As he comes down to the next one, John Boy still, and Luty McShooty, look, now is beginning to get on the back of this as well. So Dan has got
he's pulled a second to John Boy.
Yes, he has, and G's pulled a second to John Boy and 3/4 of a second to Dan. At the moment, Dan's still going to win this race, but we'll see when they go across the line. So it's the only G. Dan is absolutely side by side with John Boy, but Dan's got the inside line as they go around that corner, and the only G is going to come over and win this one on track. And he's just a second and a bit in front of Dan. Dan needs just a little bit of a tenth. John Boy's gone backwards behind Luty McShooty, but it's going to come across the line. It's going to be the only G. Is he going to win it?
He's going
on the
to win
times.
it.
He's going to do it, you know. He's going to do it. He's going to take the win.
No,
he doesn't. No, he doesn't take the win. Look, 1 second. 1 second. That was. Phew, that was some great races. So what happened there?
That was intense. Let's see what.
Let's look at.
The only G had 2 seconds of time.
2 seconds. Ah, that's what it was. That's why he jumped back, because he had it by a second and a half. We jumped back to the action there. There we go. Right. So, just to recap, Unorthodox Dan was the winner with a time penalty for the only G. That dropped him back into second place after such a stunning drive. John Boy, again, cracking good drive, manages to hold on for third place. Looty McShooty in fourth, Delore in fifth, Nickthevilla makes sixth, Vigla in seventh, Kurt in eighth, good drive from him. MeltedDazzer comes up to ninth, SmokieDevil in 10th, AmazingPieBoy in 11th, and 12th place was Cobb. And that is your race for this evening. Wow.
I told you Dan was going to win.
Yeah. Well, so what did I say? What was my prediction? You said Dan was going to win. He did. My prediction was the only G from Dan from Looty. So yeah. So I wasn't quite right, but close.
I think I said Dan, John Boy, and Cobb.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I got the sandwich at least.
Yeah. Apart from the other one being last, you were close.
Yeah, so I got because I got the very first and the very last. So I mean, I'll take it.
Absolutely, and why not? Indeed, never ever ceases to amaze is the Renault Clio Cup. We are back next week for the final round of the season at Silverstone National. I'm hoping everyone will join us for that. Hello, Nicky's in the chat. Where have you been all evening? Nicky for Prolapse. Yeah, Prolapse win there for Dan. Okay, just to Green Pies. Any final words? What things you want to say? Driver of the day for you? Any of that?
Driver of the day. I'm gonna have to give it to Dan. I'm gonna have to give it to Dan for that one. That was some great driving from him. Just about getting first place with the only G's time penalties. Yeah, that's all I've got to say. I need to SilentxEnergy drink.
Absolutely. So yes, indeed. Let's cover all that stuff, shall we? SilentxEnergy are sponsors for the Clio Cup. Check out their website. They're plant-based energy drink. If you get a code from Motive, which I think may be Motive 1, original kind of code, and I think you can get up to 15% discount on SilentxEnergy, so please do check that out. If you haven't put a like, please do a like and subscribe to the channel. Go and have a look on Motive's website, motiveracing.com. Sign up to, as I said, subscribe to YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. We've had some cracking good racing here this evening. I'd like to say thank you to all the guys at Motive who put this event on, and loads of events through the week. I'm back commentating on Sunday night for the British Touring Cars at... where are we at? I can actually tell you that. At Silverstone National as well. That's on Sunday night. Thank you very much, Green Pies.
Thank you, Kelly. That was probably one of the best races I've ever commentated on.
Oh, mate, the Clios are always good. So I'll look forward to you being in the commentary box again next week. And
you'll probably see me again next week, yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. Thank you ever so much for your company, ladies and gentlemen out there. Thank you for your company from me, from Green Pies, and all the guys here at Motive. Have a great evening. Thank you and good night.